Okay. Oh, we'll just add lib for now. What do I need? Just need that. Oh, Peanuts found me over here. Sorry about the OBS. Getting hiccups. Had to restarted another stream, but this'll have to do. Yes, Aussie Energy, the go had stopped. So hopefully we've got a stream. I've got the name back on it, so I know which one it is. Yeah, I'll have to make sure that other default one doesn't come up and I can have a different one named. Like backup stream or something, or whatever, some other name. Ad lib, we've been doing that already. Have you? Oh. Do I have to go back through the chat, do I, Peanuts? I can see the usual crowd, Clive, Ozzie, Dora, Fred. Oh, even No Name's dropped in. No Name should be on night shift, he should be working. I thought I seen a Judy there earlier, or was that on the other live stream?
Judy was in the other one.
Yeah, Judy's back here. And Surf. Okay, looks like they all found it back. And I've got a Southern Hemisphere globe head. Oh, okay. Hi, Jeranism. Jerenurism. Bit of a tongue twister trying to figure out how to say that one. Well, I suppose you Peanuts have probably been following the Flat Earth arena the last week. I haven't really picked up on a lot of stuff. Everything's the same, same. It's like just putting a rewind on the tape, and you're just hearing the same crap over and over again.
Of course. What more would you expect?
What was McToon's? What was McToon's debate, or who was he debating?
Oh, you got to ask me names, and you know I don't do names.
Okay, was he a flat earther?
The second one was. The first one that I missed because I was asleep because I hadn't realised it was going to be on that early was his new video, which is actually about some more woo people.
Okay, give me a look. See if I can find it for you. It should be there. Oh, McToon versus Santosh. That was one of them.
Santosh, yeah, not Santos, Santosh.
Santosh.
Different person.
Right.
A lot more laid back and calm.
Okay.
So at least a polite flirt.
And
then
I've
he did
got
another
another
stream
one.
that
Simon Parkes claims aliens, people, something.
Yeah. There's a video and then there's a live stream.
Yeah, I see that.
He might have had to have a voiceover in that at some point.
Okay. Alright. Didn't seem like many people turned up for the after show live stream. I mean, there was a lot of people in the chat, viewing, 100 people or whatever.
Yeah, well, a lot of people just don't want to go on panels, do they?
I don't know why. I don't know what such the big deal is. Can't see. I mean, I hate typing, so that's probably my excuse.
Yeah, I've got an inordinately loud keyboard, apparently. And I moved the mic. And I've moved the mic so it shouldn't be picking up the damn keyboard.
Yeah, no, mine's not very loud. Oh, this is my borrowed one from the bedroom, because my one's went a bit funny in the keys. What after show? I didn't see that stream. Oh, Dora said she didn't
No,
see that
Dora,
after
it
show,
was...
the McToon one. After show
The
one.
Platoon one started at 0300 for Dora, so I can't
Ah,
blame her for not having seen it.
yeah. Oh, pardon me. Now I did manage to find in the stream topic. Whoa. That was loud.
Sorry.
That's okay. Don't know if I'm going to be able to chop that up to make it look better on my end. Oh yeah, that might work. Oh, do you reckon we should let Casual Spaceman in? He's not.
I think
He's not
we better
he,
let
he better not
Casual
be sick.
Spaceman
He better not be too sick.
Good afternoon, morning, good afternoon,
You better, mate?
evening, wherever you might be.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm not too bad now. Not too bad. It's just been mostly a cough, but I had a better night last night. That's probably the best night's sleep I've had for about a week. So yeah, slight cough, but it's not too bad. So, yeah, he says. Nah, I think even the cough's starting to go now, which is a good thing. Yeah.
Well, I was hoping your reading voice would be back. That's why I'm so worried.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you're only worried that somebody else can't read for you. Is that what eh?
Well, you know, Farmers can't be here, even though he was on the phone texting it down in Gems, and I was going to send him a message and say, "Aren't you working?"
Yeah, he's supposed to be working, isn't he?
Yeah.
I heard he had an interview for another job recently, I believe.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
I thought
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how
yeah.
he got on, but he said it went pretty well. So.
Somebody's
But if he ends up working full time, he probably I suppose it'd be another weekends, I guess.
Okay, who's moving furniture?
That's Paul. He's open. He looks like he's
Yeah.
opening
Is
a present.
you
or
eating more
something.
food?
No,
Oh, that's okay.
No, he's,
I'm not. unless I'm eating this.
what's that?
He's trying to unwrap.
TV man.
He's unwrapping his present.
I was just about to say, he looked like he was unwrapping a birthday present for a second.
To himself.
Oh, to himself. Sent himself a birthday present.
TV mount, but I don't think it's going to be strong enough to support the new TV.
That's why they invented cabinets.
They don't make cabinets that big, Terry.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a carpenter like me. We can always make it bigger.
Besides, I wouldn't put it in a cabinet. I'd just sit it on the top of a like.
Well,
a
you know what I
table.
mean. A low
Yeah.
boy thing.
Yeah, well, I've got something. What the original TV's on is good enough. That'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm just thinking of putting this in one of the other rooms. Maybe.
Oh, you'd know those
One with
cabinets
TVs on
that
it.
used to be around before with the old CRTV ones used to fit in, and they were surrounded, and they had either a glass or a panel on one
Yeah.
side with a door, and you'd see them
Yeah.
all out on the rubbish pile out the front for pickups because the
Yeah,
LCD TVs wouldn't fit. Well,
Yeah, that's right.
I solved that problem with one I got. I pulled
Yeah.
it all apart and actually took away the side bit for the panel, and a big screen TV fits perfectly inside it.
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking maybe I should have set up a business with those cabinets and brought them all home and modified them for LCD TVs. I thought about it. That's as far as I got.
Now, I think eventually I'll wall mount the new TV, but not at the moment.
Yeah, I want to get myself a wall mount for my monitor because it's I've got a bit of been getting a crick in my neck recently. I need to get one.
Is that from watching the monitor, Matt, or something else?
Yeah, it's not at the best angle. My chair's a little bit on the high side, so I'm kind of like looking down a little bit. So I want to get my desk is kind of like just by a wall, so I want to mount it on the wall so it's kind of eye height, so it doesn't affect my neck so much.
That sounds like a good idea. Too much hassle to make the desk higher, though, isn't it? Or put the monitor on something higher on the desk.
Yeah, well, I've got it on top of a printer, but it's still not quite high enough. It needs to be really ideally eye height.
And if it's one of those printers where you got to lift the lid up to do the scanning, well, you'd have to lift the.
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah, I don't. The printer stopped working years ago, but the scanner still works. So I keep it as a scanner really, and I just put on the rare occasion I need to scan something. I just use it for that for the time being. I just put my monitor on top of it.
Yeah. Oh well, multi-purpose.
Yeah, I've given up buying printers. I think they're just they never bloody last. Bloody things. Yeah, Doris says keep stacking stuff and raise the monitor. Well, yeah, but no, man, I'll knock the bloody lot over.
Yeah, I like the trendy one that I bought several years back because my son has to print out his worksheets for work and they come through on the email, so he just sends them through from his phone straight to the printer and says, "Oh, Dad, I got some print," so I have to load the printer up for him for the paper, and he prints his
I think it's
stuff
because
out.
we rarely have to print anything these days. I mean, you kind of don't. I mean, you've got information at your fingertips on the internet all the time. I mean, you don't need to print
That's why I
stuff.
don't know why he has to print
Very
them.
rare.
He seems to have a hard copy of the jobs printed out for some reason.
Yeah. So so what happens is obviously all the ink, because you've got an inkjet, all the ink after a while dries up, so it doesn't work. So I'm not going to bother anymore.
And it costs. How much does it cost compared to the printer when you buy all the ink? It's cheaper to buy a whole new.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could buy compatible ink cartridges, but the problem is things like companies like Epson. If you use compatible ink cartridges, you invalidate the warranty. According to them, it's part of the warranty rules. So if it breaks down, they won't cover it. Because you said you haven't used their ink cartridges, but their ink cartridges are ridiculous prices. Stupid.
And if I don't if I use an aftermarket ink cartridge in mine, I never know what the ink level is. That's the only other disadvantage of them.
Yeah, same with compatibles with Epson. I think at least most of the printers anyway.
Well, we've got a naked person out there. Da Freak, if you're subbed, you can get a spanner. And I noticed Paul's got his name up ready. F something H.
Yeah.
I'm not going to swear on.
This guy wasn't.
I was going to say
he wasn't a scientist. He wasn't a scientist. He was an inventor, and he made himself very rich inventing toys.
And I wasn't going to swear because F something H. Okay.
No, we still got the swear jar in operation.
Obviously. But you're not allowed to pay in advance, Matt. I told you, that doesn't work.
I was just going to suggest that might be better.
No.
Sorry, Alan, go ahead. You trying to say something.
Give me $100 PayPal and then go, yeah.
That'll cover me for a bit.
Or $100 in advance. I'd have to think about that one.
Hey, Terry, look at what Surf's up to. Talking about wrenches.
Oh, I think that deserves a timeout.
Oh, why you're not allowed to say that word? You're
No,
not allowed
no,
to say
because
that
it's
then.
spanners here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrench is a verb when you grab something and you wrench your neck or you have to wrench something or whatever. So
Yeah, it's an American thing, isn't it? They say.
yeah, I know these Americans. How many,
Any eggs,
how many
any
Americans
egg,
we got out in the peanut gallery?
Yeah, probably a
few.
few actually. C4, I think, is one of them. I think.
Oh, C4 wanted to know what happened to Bandy. I do not know what happened to Bandy lately. I have not seen
No.
him over in the
For all,
Delhi.
for all we know, he could be lying at the bottom of
Whoa.
the ditch with 2 broken legs.
Oh shit!
Last time I saw him was in Gem
Headphone
Pandas. That was
boarding
about a
ball.
couple of weeks ago. I think he appears in Gem Pandas every
Yeah.
once in a while.
Not very often. More in the Brandon's
Yeah.
Flat Earth server.
I still remember the. Do you remember the with Bandy and the thrusty bits conversation?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, firstly.
Well, his plum bobs were the last thing.
Oh, that's all right. He's plum. Oh, he still goes on about his plum bob. I think.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
He's a good player. Leave him alone.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I got a lot of time for Bandy. He's not. I mean, you know, he's a Poe, but he's a harmless Poe. He's not
Yeah.
a flat earther.
Well, ever since he
does
proved
it.
gravity, that's with that experiment. Well, I don't know if you call it an
Well, all-
experiment, but
Well, all flat earthers prove gravity, don't they? Usually,
I'm sure they prove.
at some
I'm
point
sure
or
they
another.
prove density disequilibrium, whatever they call it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. It's density disequilibrium.
so I'm
Yeah,
trying to
that.
think of this person with
Yeah.
something H that's something to do with toys.
Yeah.
Choo choo.
Yeah, you're right, Alan.
John Rapp had.
I haven't checked the chat.
Bloody hell!
I think you're right.
Oh!
Bloody hell, mate!
What's the matter? What's wrong?
What?
How loud is Paul to you, Matt?
Well, I've actually got most people turned down a little bit, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know why, but my microphone's turned right down.
Oh, actually, now Paul is quite loud now. Now I've just turned my own volume up.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been saying it for ages. You know, Paul, you're loud, and he goes, "No, I'm not."
Well, let me see.
And there must be somewhere else in the settings that you must have missed.
It does
I can
also,
turn it
to
down.
me, seems like you're going up and down without touching anything either.
Oh, you're letting the device
Well, I just
control
was
the
touching it
audio
before.
setting in Windows,
Unless you're too close to the mic, are you, Paul?
or both.
No, I didn't. I've now ticked the automatically adjust microphone volume. Does that sound better?
Ah, yeah, that's much
Sounds
better.
a lot better.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very
Good.
sexy. Very sexy.
Anyway, how is everybody? How's Alan? How's John? How's Blue?
Oh,
How's Paul?
Pretty
How's
good.
Terry?
beautiful, mate.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, friggin' hell!
My ears are bleeding. My ears are bleeding.
My batteries
Nah,
are only
I
going to
just
last
did it.
5 seconds if I just keep up. I changed them
And
not long before we started.
And is Big Blue alive? Is he alive?
Did
We
we
got it,
please
so it must
say
be
he was
alive.
ducking out for a...
Oh,
not-
okay.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
yeah, duck out for a minute.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back.
He obviously got far more important things to do than us, obviously.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But I wish he'd put the right blue marble photo in his avatar around the right way.
No, that is. What are we talking
No,
about? That is the
no,
right
that's
way.
not that's not around the right way.
I
I
can't
found
see
out
it
by
again.
doing some research.
That is.
the
What are you talking about? No, that is the right way. That's exactly how it's it because it was South Africa and Madagascar. That is the original blue marble.
Well, I found the image for that through NASA. That the original photo that was actually image that was taken is actually upside down.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, really? I didn't-
Because of the orientation of the
Spacecraft, yeah.
spacecraft, the top Antarctica was at the top of the frame.
Oh, really? I didn't.
The
I never
camera.
knew that. I never knew
Yeah.
that. Oh, there you go. You learn something new every day. There you go. I should have known that, but I didn't. There you go.
Yeah, if you actually go look at the negative.
Right. Okay.
But of course, NASA flipped. All the published
Flipped it,
versions of it have all been that way up, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I suppose they would do. You know, it's yeah. I didn't know it was the spacecraft was orientated the other way around. Didn't know that.
I'll see if
There you go.
I'll see if I can find it for you.
There you go. I gave my only clue in the chat, Terry, for the name.
Oh yeah.
You
sorry.
should be able to get it from that.
Choo choo.
Yeah. Loads of
Yeah,
people
the
in
bloke.
chat
Somebody
got
already guessed it out in the peanut.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Where was it? I used to have one of them when I was a kid, and I think the toy I've got
So did
now
I.
is made by the same company as well, or used to
Yeah.
be.
And I had the other big product he was involved in.
Yeah, I watched a few YouTube videos about all that stuff a while back.
Yeah, that's right. It was John Rapp.
Somebody's name that Spencer was his last name in the TV show, and his last name, I can't think of any other
Fred
name. that
Bailey got it
relates to
before
that.
John, though, I think.
It was John Rapp. Yeah,
Dora
John
got it?
Rapp. John
Dora
Rapp
got it?
further back guessed it.
Yeah, so did Dora.
Oh, so
Dora
what was-
got it out
what's
of
the
the
answer
list
then?
as far as I can see. Frank Hornby.
Oh, okay. Oh, Hornby. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, see if I can show everyone that. There we go.
So that was the original orientation then, was it? I
Yeah,
never knew that. Honestly,
that's actually an original. Well, it's fairly original image. It was from a NASA site that I found it.
That is pretty much straight off the scanner as well, because you know, the contrast and the saturation always seem to get punched up on these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People like stuff to be oversaturated and over
Yeah.
contrasty.
I mean, if you look at the the original scan they did in the negative as well, which I have seen, but they had it obviously flipped over the other way around with the obviously northern hemisphere being at the top, and you can actually see the numbers. I don't know what the numbers actually mean. Maybe Alan, you can explain it. The numbers of the actual negative, when they appear, where they actually scan the whole thing.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the numbers you'll see because they
Film
use,
number and stuff probably. And stuff
Yeah,
like that.
there's frame numbers and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly what you would get on because it's 70mm cine stock
Yeah.
that they're using. I don't know what numbering you would actually get.
Yeah. But on the original
For the
scan,
frames.
you could just see part of the numbers. It's just sort of they just scanned it slightly too much.
Yeah, well, you always try and overscan the neg if you can.
Yeah. There we go. I learned something new today.
Well, actually, because it wasn't a negative, it was Kodak transparency stock.
Okay.
But an E6, it wasn't Kodachrome, it was a sort of an Ektachrome variant.
What are you squeaking at, cat? What do you want?
So what's that
What
black
fed-
dot that's on the screen?
Probably a bit of crap in the scanner or on the negative or on the transparency.
Carl
It's
said that
really
black
hard
dot's
to keep
just
the
a
damn
disturb.
transparency.
Yeah, that's a new one. Okay.
And of course, there's been lots of other so-called blue marble photos, haven't they? But this is the original. Well, other images of the Earth that they call blue marble. but
Put
it's
the
not.
earth the right way up. I fell.
Yeah,
on
but
the
it kind of
ceiling.
annoys me because Flurfs jump all over it because they say, oh well, NASA admits that the blue marble photo is a composite and all the rest of it. It's because there's been several others that people have called the blue marble, but it's not. The original was taken by Apollo 17, so it's,
Clive says it's the UFO spaceship. What from Independence Day? It's the Enterprise in low Earth orbit. Okay.
Enterprise.
No, it wouldn't be in low Earth orbit, Deblon. Look at the scale of the size of it. That's a bit high up to be in low Earth orbit. Nah, wouldn't be the ISS either.
Oh, speaking of orbit, we've got the Inspiration 4 launch. Well, tonight for us, for the Australia, it'll be wee small hours in the morning, very early in the morning.
Really?
Yeah. You heard about Inspiration 4?
No. You're telling me now.
It's an all civilian launch, but these ones they're going to be doing. They're going to be orbiting the Earth for 3 days.
Oh.
Wow.
And there's four civilians. And a SpaceX Dragon spacecraft, obviously on top of a Falcon 9. That's tonight.
How much did they have to pay for that?
Well, one guy paid for it. Some guy, I can't remember his name, who started the first sort of credit card payments, electronic credit card payments. Quite a wealthy man. He brought the seats to do it, but then 3 other people won their places for one reason or another. And they're doing the whole thing for raising. I think they want to raise something like, I don't know, can't remember how much it was, millions anyway, for a children's cancer hospital, St. Jude's in America. So they're doing it for that. And one of the people that won the place was a childhood cancer survivor, who then became some sort of medical person within the hospital, not a nurse, but I don't exactly know what her position was within the hospital. So she was given a seat. And 2 others, I think, had to apply for one reason or another. They got a place as well. So 3 of them didn't have to pay, but the main guy, he paid for it. So at least, it's a money maker for SpaceX, but at least it's, they're doing something for charity for this one compared to when you compare that to Virgin Galactic and the Blue Origin launches. That was just pure publicity, but at least they're doing some good with this one. Sorry, Dora. What I meant to survive a childhood cancer. Sorry, is what I meant to say. Did I not? Did I just say surviving childhood?
Oops.
Yeah, sorry. Oops. Yeah. Yeah. St. Jude's is a children's cancer hospital. Yeah.
To Freak, if you can get your spanner if you've subbed.
Well, the Freak, we do a little bit of everything here. We don't just talk about flat Earth. We talk about lots of other things as well.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Yeah, within reason.
Yeah.
Like some things I do find that are a bit touchy, some subjects.
Well, it's kind of educational and informational, and also we point a laugh at people as well that are stupid.
Yeah, and surf is definitely getting thin ice.
That's it. They only get one warning. Next one. That's it. Put user in timeout. Bye,
Surf. You're glutton for punishment. You are a surf, aren't you?
Oh dear.
It's the Freak. Is it a flat earther?
I don't know. They haven't said anything.
No, not really. I don't know. It's just something about you'll know by 12,000 miles. I don't know what I mean by that.
Is there an upside down in space?
Yeah, I saw that. No, there's not.
That's one thing that I've always wondered. Why does the Earth have to be upside down? Or not upside down? Well, the orientation. Because there's no up or down. Like the ecliptic plane of the planets for the Earth and the planets to be on. There's no right way up.
No, it's just a human construct, isn't it? We just make it easier. The northern hemisphere, I suppose where north came from, it was always I don't know.
It's
Sure.
a bias.
In
You're
the-
saying it's a bias.
Bias, yeah, more of a bias.
Yeah, it's a
make
bias.
it easier.
In the later Western European Christian tradition, we draw maps with north at the top.
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to say. Yeah.
And that's why we hang photographs of the globe that way up.
Yeah.
But you have to remember things like the Mappa Mundi, which is 12th century. That's actually drawn to the older standard with east at the top, because Jerusalem was always drawn as it was to do with Jerusalem being super important to the Christian religion.
Well, also, do you think also part of it to do as well is that before Australia was discovered and the rest of it was that the majority of the civilized world lived in the northern hemisphere, and that's where most of it was mapped and explored, whereas the southern hemisphere largely wasn't. That'd be partly to do with it, do you think? So
Quite
that,
probably.
yeah.
Why just Christopher Columbus to freak? What makes him so special?
Well, even Chris Columbus didn't think the Earth was flat. He just convinced people that it wasn't nearly as big around as they thought. And it turned out that he was very lucky that the Americas were in the way.
Well,
Yep,
somebody
they would have all
had it.
died.
Was it that time or not already?
I just heard
Yes,
Blue.
it's that time of the day already.
Did I just hear Blue speaking just then?
No,
did.
yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, you did.
Blue's here, Matt.
Oh,
I'm here.
oh,
I'm
you
here.
there? Yeah. I didn't have the screen up for a second.
Hey,
Yeah,
would you put some clothes on Smurf too? He's out there running around naked in the
Oh,
chat.
that's Surf's other backup one. I don't put a spanner on that one.
Oh, okay.
You said the dreaded W word.
No, yeah,
Twice.
Did he?
twice.
Twice he said it.
So
yeah.
you don't. That one doesn't get a spanner because we went through this once before with Surf. Bloody two different accounts. Bloody got me confused. So that one doesn't get a spanner.
Oh, okay. Well,
You can't have two spanners.
hell, we'll just time him out for fun.
I've got to take medication, so I'm going to have to be muted for a sec. Unmuted, I mean.
Oh, God, I need to do the same as well. I'm glad you said that. I haven't taken my I need to take my meds as well. I just remember.
That's why the alarm, Matt. That's why the 1 o'clock alarm goes off, mate, to remind us all to take our meds.
Yeah.
I should have taken mine this morning, but I didn't. So I better
This is
take it
this
now.
is the consolation of being old or older. I bet you Blue will
Everybody
pipe
takes
up.
meds.
But I bet you Blue will pipe up and say, "What meds? I don't have any stinking meds." Nah.
Hell, I just took a handful.
Okay. Oh well. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Okay, John, where's yours?
I got my bottle here, mate.
I was just going to say, it
Well,
better not be liquid.
Yeah, that's his meds. That's his medication. Is his
in,
bottle
in liquid form.
liquid form?
Should be right, mate.
Should be
All
right.
good.
You know you got to blow in the breathalyzer when you come on here, John.
Oh, bloody hell. God, I'm gone already.
Yeah, so he's failed then.
All
I,
I can
I
say
got
is thank God for ibuprofen and beer.
Yeah.
Be in bad shape without it.
I got a swear jar and I got a what do you call it? Breathalyzer.
Christ, we might as well start a nunnery in this stream.
What?
Take a vow of chastity and all the rest of it as well.
Too late for me, mate.
No, yes, likewise. Yeah, a bit bloody late, but hey.
Laura, you don't have to knock yourself out. You can just take other, less drastic action.
What was that, Alan? Plastics?
No, Doris, I have a rubber hammer on the desk just in case I
right.
cannot take the stupid anymore.
Oh.
My medicine is reusable. I'm going to say there are other options other than whacking yourself over the head with a rubber hammer.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Deal with the stupid.
yeah, well,
Whack the guy pissing you off over the head with a rubber hammer.
well I gave up banging my head in the table long ago, mate.
So anyway, should we get on with the why we're here?
Yes, of course.
The big question is, are we going to do some Lindsay?
Oh, God sakes. So, entertainment. We need entertainment.
Lindsay. No, surely not. Not Lindsay.
Anything but Lindsay. Please don't, Mother. Please don't expose me to Lindsay.
Oh, it's like
Not,
watching
not the Lindsay again.
You've got to have a chuckle, mate. It's all good. Terry.
He's
Yeah, I'm
still doing
here.
his meds.
I'm in the kitchen.
Oh, there he is.
Just out of the kitchen. I had to fix my cuppa up. It went cold.
Yeah, press play, Terry. Oh, we haven't got video yet.
No, we're not doing a video.
Oh, why not?
We've got a story time first.
Yeah, it's story time.
Oh, story time. Oh yeah, I forget. I even have the page open ready in case Terry wants me to read it. I'd rather not.
Oh dear.
But you're saying about Lindsay. Well, we could always, if we don't get Lindsay, we can always get somebody more intelligent like Brian or someone else.
No, please. I'd rather have Lindsay.
Yeah, but is there a level of intelligence up or down from Lindsay?
Oh God.
Well, no, I mean, see, Lindsay. See, this is the thing. See, I think Lindsay's quite intelligent. He's just fucking mad. He's just bonkers.
Yeah.
He's just totally bonkers. Well, Brian's just an idiot.
Lindsay's entertaining. He really is.
Yeah. Well, I suppose Brian's an idiot. Brian's entertainment as well, because you can just laugh at him just being an idiot and getting everything wrong.
Yeah. Whereas with Lindsay, you've got 27 minutes and 13 seconds.
Oh, Southern Hemisphere Globehead's here. Hello.
Hello.
Sal.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Southern Hemisphere Globehead, go and do that now. She's got, she deserves a lot more subscribers, to be honest with you.
I'll spam their channel in the peanut gallery, Southern. Put your link to your channel out there.
Yeah, don't be afraid to spam a little bit, Sal. I do, shamelessly.
Yeah.
It's a wonder you haven't done it already.
I do it all the time. What are you on about? I spam everybody's Discord several times usually.
This stream's just gone R-rated again.
I was just gonna say about Paul's he's got in the background.
It's gone R-rated again.
Oh,
I was
Look, I know I need the viewers and the subscribers, Paul, but I don't know. I just don't know.
you go, Paul. You go, mate.
Going by the ratio, I hope no one's dropped off though. That's the main thing.
probably get quite a few more.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Strangely enough, they'll be all men.
Oh, you never know.
Oh, you missed out, Matt. We found a game. We found games and that in Zoom we can play. I've been playing around with them.
All right.
Yeah, I found one. We had a look at it last time we were here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have a look at it more and see if there's anything more. And we also played around with a background with having people seated in chairs and next to a fireplace and a few different choices there.
Oh, Carl, you've been suffering as well from the Rona, have you? He was talking about he's had a cough and fatigue. Doing a lot better. That's good.
Okay. I hope he does get better. I mean, he will have to get better. Big Blue's changed his thumbnail avatar to what, facepalm?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only for
Getting ready
Lindsay.
for Lindsay.
Yeah, that's for Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, story time first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're doing the colonists, the first fleet. You know, all that stuff.
Still doing all that stuff, oh.
Who we got this week? Okay.
History Extra.
It won't show up on the screen out there. You didn't have to read that bit.
So we on to the story of the first
Well, this is to
colonists
do
in
with the
Australia,
first
right?
colonists when they came over on the first fleet.
Yeah.
So this is a story about that.
Colonists convicts, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking.
Some were, some weren't.
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. So Thomas Barrett was sentenced to death 3 times. His first capital offence was in 1782, when, as a young boy, he was found guilty of stealing a silver watch in London. Barrett's sentence was commuted, and he was dispatched instead to the North American colonies. However, before his ship had left Britain, there was a convict uprising that enabled Barrett to escape. His freedom was short-lived. Barrett was recaptured, and the death penalty was again handed down for his actions. But for a second time, royal intervention saved him from the noose. And so it was that in 1787, Thomas Barrett found himself a passenger on the Charlotte, as part of the first fleet that shipped prisoners to the distant land of Australia. There his final sentence still awaited him.
He's a bit unlucky, isn't he?
Yeah.
3 times. Jeez.
Barrett's
Or lucky,
story-
well, I suppose.
Barrett's story illustrates a key idea to emerge from Australians. The first part of Thomas Kenneally's epic history of a continent and its people. The nature of early immigrants meant that this was a colony like no other. If you'll accept that we're a sophisticated society, which is hard for the British to do, then you'd have to say that this is the only advanced country on earth that began as a purpose-designed penal colony, says Kenneally. It didn't begin as a place where there were settlers who used convicts. It began as a jail. Having been deprived of American colonies following the emergence of the United States, Britain in the 1780s was desperate to find an alternative territory for its miscreants?
Miscreants. Yeah, miscreants.
Never heard of that word before. Australia, recently claimed for the empire by Captain Cook, seemed to fit the bill. It had been inhabited by Aborigines for millennia, but despite a few tentative voyages, no other European power had established a lasting settlement on the continent. Britain took the lead. The first fleet of convicts arrived in January 1788, and a fledgling penal colony was established in what is now Sydney. I might be able to get away with one more paragraph. Who were the people who landed on the Kennelly, described as a sunstruck dungeon at the end of the world? They were prisoners, yes, but they weren't just a group of common criminals. One of the reasons early Australia survives was that there were many social protesters among the convicts, explains Keenly. These were people who did not consider themselves criminals. They were people like poachers who acted in protest against the enclosure of estates. Then there were Luddites, swing rioters, Irish ribbonmen, and Jacobite martyrs. You had these fairly robust, stroppy people alongside the professional thieves and prostitutes. Jesus, a big mix of people. Big mix of people.
Sounds like a good mix of people.
Yeah, sounds like a good night out to me.
Orangemen and Jacobites who are going to want to kill each other.
So that's an image of gold mining operations on the Mount Alexander Goldfield near Port Phillip during the Australian Gold Rush, Victoria, Australia, circa 1855, which we'll get into later. Which is another story on itself about the gold.
Do you want me to read a bit there?
Yes, please. My eyes are bloody watered already.
Yeah, no problem. Land of the free. Within a few years, convicts were joined by free people from Britain and Ireland, and later other parts of Europe. Attracted to dreams of a better life, these immigrants went out further than the areas of the colonial authorities could control and squatted on huge tracts of land. Some were inspired by Edward Gibbon Wakefield, who, while languishing in Newgate prison in the 1820s, wrote an influential pamphlet encouraging yeomen to settle in Australia. Nor was it just the poorer Britons who headed for Australia. According to Keneally, Australia has always been the place to which Britain has sent unsatisfactory members of all its classes, including the gentry, bourgeoisie, and bourgeoisie. It was a great place to send young men who had gambling debts or had been cashiered. It was also the sort of place where you'd sent bluff English lads who weren't particularly good academically or had impregnated the maid. Charles Dickens, for example, sent his two dumbest sons to Australia. About Australia. And Trollope had a son there as well. Scroll up a bit there. Up a bit more. Keep going a bit more. In many ways, the early history of Australia is hard to detach from the story of the mother country. The kinds of people, settler and convict, who came to the continent reflected the social and political situation in Britain at the time. It provides, says Keneally, an acute focus on the problems of England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. Whether they departed in fear of hope, the Britons and other Europeans who arrived in Australia faced a forbidding landscape and a continent with little water and variable soil. The development of agriculture was extremely difficult. The interior in particular was offered little bounty, and despite several expeditions, no great river like the Mississippi could be found. Instead, many explorers perished in the desert heat. Scroll up.
Scrolling.
The settlers brought with them their Eurocentrism, and they didn't realise how dry this continent was, explains Keneally. British yeomen tried to advance into South Australia and Western Australia, but it was impossible because these places are deserts. It showed a great incomprehension of the country that they were coming to. These folk should have perished on the desert shores, and in many cases they came close to doing so. They also went mad and committed suicide, but ultimately they stayed. they stayed and endured. In the perilous days of the days of New South Wales, as British Australia was originally known, food stocks frequently dwindled and rations fell. You scroll up a bit, Terry. Keep going. It was only the arrival of supply-laden ships from Britain that enabled the colony to continue. However, although farming was tricky, the settlers discovered that the climate was suitable for livestock, and especially sheep, useful for their meat and wool. Thanks, Terry. Sheep farming had become mainstay of the Australian economy by the middle decades of the 19th century. As settlements expanded, they came into greater conflict with the Aboriginal people who had lived in Australia for at least 50,000 years. This was Keneally believes the countervailing tragedy of Australian history. The Aborigines considered that the country was theirs and any animals on it was theirs as well. Rightly so. They began killing the livestock of the settlers, and maybe they would also kill a convict shepherd because he was messing with their women or had stolen stuff from them. This is when the carbines came out, and when it came to showdown, our technology and firepower was greater. Scroll up. Through the frontier wars, massacres, and an introduction of diseases, the Aboriginal population was devastated. The settlers took over swathes of territory, affecting a cultural as well as physical dispossession. We can lose our house in the suburbs that we've had for 20 years and will sort of survive, says Keneally. But if you separate the Aborigines from their traditional land, which is their source of food and social cohesion, then you are depriving them of more than real estate. The mistreatment of the indigenous people was not always applauded, Keneally says. There is a recent supposition that concern for Aboriginal rights is a modern Chardonnay supping, latte drinking concern, but from the very beginning there were people who stood up for the Aboriginals. Their methods, however, were advocacy, whereas the methods of people trying to rid Aborigines from the land were weaponry. In 1851, gold was discovered in New South Wales, sparking a gold rush similar to that taking place in California. This precious metal brought wealth to the country and hastened an influx of migrants. The gold rush sparked the beginning of the end of the transportation, which was still underway, despite growing resentment from the Australian population. This discovery made convictism ridiculous and irrelevant, says Keneally. Why would you ship people to a place where immigrants can't wait to get there? Scroll up. Revolution averted. Gold also funded the development of the interior and prompted the growth of cities. Melbourne went from virtually a village in 1850 to what Keneally sees as one of the great cities of the empire 20 years later. That's quite a short time to build a city in 20 years, isn't it? Yet the gold rush bred discontent as well, and in 1854 it took Australia to the brink of revolution. Those hoping to prospect for gold had to pay fees to the authorities or face retribution from the colonial police force. In Victoria, the police were corrupt and brutal, regularly assaulting the miners or throwing them in jail. Scroll up, Terry. The miners responded with teeth, feeding an escalating cycle of violence. At the same time, inspired by the 1848 revolution in Europe and the Chartist movement, they pressed for greater representation, including the right to vote. The flashpoint occurred at the Eureka Goldfield in Ballarat, where a group of miners broke out in the open rebellion, creating a Republican flag and erecting their own stockade. In the short term, the uprising was a dismal failure. British troops and colonial police surrounded the stockade and routed the miners. Yet the long-term implications were enormous. The Eureka episode had an extraordinary impact, explains Keneally. Public opinion was very much on the side of the miners, so that, for example, those who were arrested were all acquitted. They couldn't find a jury in Victoria to condemn them. Scroll up. The shock of Eureka accelerated the pace of democratic reform in Australia. Miners' courts were established and there was soon universal male suffrage, including Aborigines in New South Wales and Victoria. Some of the miners were being hunted in 1854, were in Parliament a couple of years later. The transformation from penal colony to democracy had been rapid. However, it was not entirely unexpected, for Australia had long had a progressive streak in it. That was partly because of the large number of social protesters among the convicts, and partly because of many of the colonies' rulers had progressive views. Scroll up, Terry. And go up a bit more, up a bit more. That'll do. The lessons had learned from the American Revolution, meaning that many of the governors were, in Keneally's words, quite enlightened people. One such person was Lachlan Macquarie, I don't know, Lachlan Macquarie, a former Scottish soldier and man of the English of the Enlightenment. He arrived in 1810 and made a conscious effort to integrate ex-convicts into society by, among other things, appointing them to leading roles such as magistrates and chief surgeons. There was pressure from the grandees of society to make a two-tier community, with non-convict settlers having greater rights than convicts of their children. It was due to the insistence of several governors, but especially Macquarie and his divided community. Scroll up.
Macquarie.
Macquarie, is that how you pronounce it? Okay, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. A bit more. Scroll up quite a lot more. Macquarie, that this divided community didn't develop, says Keneally. Indeed, my wife's great-grandfather was a convict who died in the 1850s. Had he lived another 18 months, he would have had the vote. Not everyone in Australia escaped the convict stain. And in February 1788, Thomas Barrett faced death for the final time. Caught stealing butter and peas and pork from storehouse, he was sentenced to be hanged from a tree. The final rites were read out, and as he mounted the ladder to his place of execution, Barrett turned very pale and seemed very much shocked. Aged only 17, Barrett was the first man to be executed in New Colony.
Jeez,
Third time
young,
unlucky in that case.
17-year-old.
17 for stealing food. Wow. He was one of the casualties of an early Australia, and stories such as his fill the pages of Keneally's book. All the same, the author believes that despite the hardships, the Australian settlement was a remarkable achievement. It's astonishing that we went from being a purpose-designed penal colony to a liberal democracy in only 72 years. As a settler society, Australia from 1788 to 1860 was prodigiously successful. I don't say this with any jingoistic glow in my cheeks, because I don't think I can say the same about the past 50 years. And ultimately, I'm going to have to write about this period as well. And I think it then goes into the timeline for the listeners.
Oh, there's some timelines there.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
It's hard to find a lot of information that is not YouTube based, which I can't use.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why you've been put in jail for a number of times.
Well, I'm even got another one.
I mean, there's no harm in. There's been a number of times when I've contacted, YouTube creators to use some of their stuff, and they've been fine with it. Some haven't.
Yeah, well, I
Some
got
don't
one
respond.
way back when we did. Remember, we were doing blacksmithing and ancient technologies back in the day. One came back up from there and bit me. But they've changed the what do you call it? Oh shit! I hate when I can't find the word. Well, I've only got to do. It was only a week's live streaming. I wasn't allowed to do, even though I've got a strike. I've been punished for a week, and that was a couple of weeks ago. That was when I couldn't stream for a week. So that's a new YouTube thing that they've got going.
Yeah. Well, you've always got Alan.
Yeah, I've always got Alan.
You've got Alan to fall on back on.
Yeah. But you still get the same 90-day for the strike. You can't get another strike in that time period, otherwise you'll lose your channel, obviously, or you get 3 strikes or something as well. Same as was before, but they've only just made it a week now that you can't live stream. So.
The worst I've ever had, I've had one YouTube video removed. That's the worst I've ever had. I've never been, stopped from doing anything else, live streaming or anything. Not that I live stream these days, but still, that's the worst I've ever had.
Okay. Okay. So I'll go and see if Lindsay's.
Oh, what's Blue's avatar about then? What's that? I've got to stop saying how stupid can you be. I'm beginning to think people are taking it as a challenge. Oh yeah, back to that one.
What did cats want? Oh, conspiracy cats. Oh yeah. Alright, what else?
I'm liking your lights above you there, Paul. Behind you.
Disco lights, yeah.
Quite funky, isn't it? Huh?
Where have we got? Okay. Just check to see if Lindsay's dropped anything.
Yeah, when I eventually renovate the room, they'll go in an aluminium channel up on the ceiling, so they'll look more diffused.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Okay, we've got flat Earth knowledge, more flat Earth knowledge, flat Earth information, flights to the southern field, and that something. Then a part 1, and then a part 2. Okay, so he has dropped a few, so that'll keep us going for another couple of episodes. And we'll put it on Lindsay's speed. That's that going. So you've got your oven mitts out and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
What's Blue got? I have.
Push your monitors back out of punching range.
I'm trying to read Blue's. What I have got to stop saying, "How stupid can you be?" I'm beginning to think people are taking it as a challenge. That's it. And Paul's eating again. He had ice cream before. Now he's eating. I don't know what he's eating now.
Just as well, Farmer's Boy's not here. He doesn't like that. It's only me. He doesn't like when I'm eating.
Yeah, that's it. I'll tell him on the weekend. Fred said, "Shit, I didn't even miss Lindsay." I'm trying to work out which way he means that. And Alan's AWOL at the moment too, isn't he? Okay. Better share it in here. All right.
Does his whiteboard ever change? Rarely. It doesn't change much, does he? He's always got the boobs, isn't he, on the left hand side? That's always there. Well, he's got some writing.
Well, he had
before.
over a period of time he had rubbed it all off and started again, but redrew different drawings there. But he's got his cliff notes written up there, so he'll probably use that.
Yeah, as I say that red writing there wasn't there before. Yeah.
Welcome to some more Flat Earth knowledge, or Flat Earth science, whatever you want to call
Flat
it.
Earth nonsense.
Plenty of things to talk about today. This is where we discuss a lot of Flat Earth matters, break them down, try and associate them with science. But we don't just talk
science. What science?
Mumbo jumbo and
There's no science of what you
crazy
say.
ideas. Okay, it's all connected to anything you can go and search yourself. So today we've got a lot of topics. It's probably going to go over a couple of videos. and a bit of stuff on my phone I'd like to talk about. But this is what we'll be going over today. 1, sun up and down in the dome, the solar and stellar times, and the seasonal changes, how it works in relation, to the sun and the stars and the seasons. 2, we've got Saturn looking like a ram head. Aries, I just rubbed that one off. Aries, and representing Capricorn, the goat. Goat being the king of the gods, because he is the ruler of both kingdoms, the uniter of Upper and Lower Egypt in more ways than one. Earth and sky, head and sacrum, chakras, lower chakra and upper chakra. Well, head and sacrum, this is like bite thy heel or wind thy head in there as well.
Is he drawing a female genitalia there?
No, that's the vortex.
Moon.
Oh, okay.
Magnetic pull between the moon and the earth, full moon and the earth.
Same thing.
Lower Egypt.
yeah.
Representing the Heshet. If I spelled that right, the Heshet. Egyptian Heshet. And you'll notice with the ram, you've got the head, and you've got this going on. Well, this represents the two skies. It's the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. It's a representation of this of this gap here we have at the tropics, the celestial gap here.
All that from a ram's head.
The two skies coming together. There's lots of videos, quite old now, about what the Egyptians knew. And then you have and then of course you have the Saturn looking more like this, which represents the ram horns coming out of the head. Now,
What?
It's probably
He had the horns coming out the top, and then he goes and draws
another
the...
video about the horn.
More horns coming out the sides.
How many horns has this ram got? How many
horns?
horns has this ram got?
But the Milky Way.
Are they supposed to be the rings of
triangles
Saturn?
in
Is that what you're
alchemy,
saying?
What they're all representing?
This thing's pretty horny, isn't it?
I've got 4 columns
Sure it is, yeah.
and the equator. Why they use columns on certain monuments and buildings, where it all comes from, like Greek or even Washington, the columns. We've got 5 as above, so below, with the parabolic image reducing to the south. Probably not into that one today, but that was trying to explain the outer southern field
image
in relation to the tropics in the north. Comparing flat earth maps to the globe measurements, understanding what's happening. We've got 6, draw center vortex image in our realm. Yes, to try and explain the 2 triangles here. There's 2 triangles here. We've got the 2 forces. The 2 forces in creation. At the center we have the sun being created, spiraling up into the sun. Well, in the Egyptian, the Jewish emblem representing, it's a spiritual connection. It's been around for years. They're uniting, coming together. That's what the flag's all about. Israel flag, the 6-star Israel flag. 7, we've got my Venus video, optics and focus.
No, it's not. It's the Star of David. What are you talking
Check out
about?
a video I've taken of Venus and put it online. You get people coming in and going, "Oh, optics or focus." They think it's out of focus. But what is optics and focus? Diffusing the true image.
Yeah, with the
It's
Lindsay
deceiving,
nose.
and it looks like an atom. Looks like this.
I wish Lindsay could focus.
Optics and focus only bringing, it's bringing light into the subject, making it look the way the average person wants it to look, which is deceiving him. It's the true image of Venus, what I have. Check it out. It's a video. People are always screaming out, "No, focus, blah, blah, blah. You need better optics," but don't listen to them. It's just garbage. Number 8, we've got patent. John Quincy Sinclair, a patent of his. I won't get into that in this video, but I found his patent when I discovered something. I was going to patent it in the spare time. And with this lockdown, we're in lockdown 4 still, last year. Everything was locked down. I couldn't get in touch with the patent office and ask questions. So I spent a bit of time trying to find something that was similar to what I had. And came across this flipping guy, John Quincy Sinclair. And you want to see the weird stuff that he's patented. And he's passed, a lot of them have failed, which is sort of understandable, but the one he has patented is basically what I've discovered. I'll go into that now. Is there's the flat Earth design, right? That's the centre vortex. That's the centre of the donut, the hole in the donut. It's outside of our realm. We all dwell in the solid part of the donut. It's outside, right? So it's not part of our world, but it's what's created our world. The non-physical has created the physical. Thought has created the image here, like we think and we can create. It's created our realm. Well, the way the fields work, like this, say, we're coming up from that south to the tropics. Cold to the heat, the tropics. Cold from the north, Arctic, to the tropics. The shape of a brain. Across the ground thou shalt go, above the field thou shalt go. It's the snake or the serpent, whatever you want to call it. But it always represents the magnetic field, or 90% of the time. Well, you've got this force coming down here, and in the middle you've got this one coming up here. This is the magic one. Well, we've got this thing coming on around here, because it's always a dual system within here. But you can separate it and say you've got one here and just one down there and one down there. Well, in his design here, his patent, he has spoken of this. He describes it all. And these are like, he uses these as like obelisks. Obelisks. You know, there's two currents. These 2 points here create this magic zone through here, which he calls hyperspace and wormhole. But it's along the same lines as what I've discovered. And I understand exactly what he's talking about. This is what's going on.
Yeah, but his patent got rejected.
You mean you've made up? You haven't discovered. You've just made this shit up, Lindsay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'll forget it.
All
It's all right. Go on, carry on.
Nothing physical, mechanical. It's going with magnetic fields or magnetism. There's the electrical charge. So this, whatever comes out of here, gets drawn, sucked back into here, into the sun. And then we have this one coming up here into the sun.
How does that make any sense? How exactly?
But I thought the sun was in the vortex.
Shoots in the opposite direction. So check out this guy's patent. I had it all. I couldn't find all the details. I've lost it.
Yeah, the sun was always in the vortex.
Yeah, the sun was always in the vortex on the edge of the black hole.
Not anymore, it isn't. He's changed it.
We'll have to take a soundbite of there. He just said he lost it.
Take photos. I'll send it to email or put it on Facebook, whatever, so I don't lose it. But sure enough, whenever I want it, I cannot find it. But go check that out. Wormholes and hyperspace and basically UFOs and all sorts of stuff involved. And then 9 we have down here the crocodile twisting, crocodile. It's in the centre of the earth here. The Egyptians have given us the sort of representing the crocodile in here.
He's honestly, I think he's making this up as he goes along. Seriously,
Yeah.
I just.
Yeah, well,
And why do they have the
Well, he mixes so many different fields of things out there,
Yeah.
astrology and myths and legends, and then he throws it all in and tries to find connections somehow, somewhere.
there are no crocodiles in Egypt. There are alligators.
Well, don't tell him that.
Different species, mate.
the crocodile? It's just because the eye is tucked into the Milky Way. This is the Milky Way.
I thought they were Nile crocodiles.
Well, apparently now he just said that this crocodile is the Milky Way. Now. Oh God.
Yeah, it's in the Milky Way.
Where did the crocodile come from?
Milky Way.
God knows, bro. God knows. Yeah. Yeah. Don't you know that the Milky Way? It's
The
the
Milky
shape
Way,
of a crocodile.
the Milky
Clearly.
Way crocodile. Haven't you heard of that one?
The sweet you can eat between meals without ruining your appetite.
No, that's a Fred-Eye frog.
It's vertical in the centre
That's
of the
Milky
earth.
Bar.
I was
That's
gonna
basically
I was gonna say you can't make this shit up, but Lindsay is proving me wrong.
Yeah.
the Milky Way. And you got the mouth here where you go down that way and you don't come back out. You get swallowed into the black holes. There are black holes down there. Sun sits on the horizon of the black hole, the edge of it.
What?
And what does a crocodile do when it latches onto something? It twists and turns. What's the Milky Way looking like? That's what the Milky Way is. It's the Milky Way. crocodile. A couple of reasons why the Egyptians left us that crocodile. The eye tucked in like that. And I'll draw it a bit clearer here.
Where's the
what's
ass
going
end of
on.
the crocodile, Lindsay?
This is why we get the triangles, why they draw the triangles. It's like this, say,
Don't forget the kangaroo, mate.
and like this. Because basically that's what the Milky Way looks like. It's got a bulge here, which represents
Oh,
the sun
does
at night. You look at the Milky Way, it's like this. A bulge there.
What?
It's the sun. That's the back of the sun. So this is where we see the
Oh,
two
the nighttime
triangles in
part.
alchemy.
Right?
Yeah.
You see them like this, with a gap
Daytime, nighttime.
like that. And then you have the uniting one, the spiritual uniting, the Upper and Lower Egypt being united. This is the Israeli, the Jewish end of
back
the
of the
uniting. Which is probably connected back to Saturn. So it's he's the king of the gods.
golly,
Saturn
golly.
uniting the two skies.
Going back to Saturn now.
And
Oh,
everything
God.
above is what's involved in our heads. So we've done the crocodile twisting. We've done the patent. To check out my Venus video, it looks like this. And there's this science, online science learning. It had some really cool information. It just had all the information I've been putting on my videos describing the flat earth and how it works right in your face. Even the fact of these
So he has a video of Venus out of focus. by
that
the
we
catching on
all
it.
have an arc of horizon, and we are always zenith of that arc. That arc always moves with us. It's our arc of our horizon, arc of the covenant, what do you want to call it? Covenant. There's also one inside your head, but this is
Which
the
vec-
main
which-
one. Everything.
What did I?
He always says this
Covenant.
he always says this arc of horizon. Which vector is he talking about? Because he's drawing it like a dome. And that can't be an arc, then, can it?
No. And he called it, but it's a covenant. Oh God.
Everything sits in that arc. I've shown a lot of videos. They had it all, clear as anything. All explained in there. And we're under this shape here, from north to south. North, because this is centre. This is the centre here. We are all within the zone here, but all the way around the donut.
Which aspect is he drawing?
They-
Is that
they
top
get to
to
this.
top down?
You move this way, so does your dome, and everything. All the central bodies on here has discs
Oh, I got no idea which
that are all
way.
right angles to you. I think I've just stated all that in the previous videos. So check that out, and they had the picture of, I forget the word they used, but the atom. It sort of looked like that. What does that look like? It looks like the flippin' Venus video I've got, the Venus and Earth planets and stuff, all sitting up above Earth. Check out that. Maybe try and hook up with these. They wanted me. I had this perfect site on my phone. It was free, and I started reading it. And thought, man, I've got to write this down. So I started writing down. Then I thought, no, I need to print all this off. It was far out stuff. But there's a different search engine with your flipping laptop and your bloody phone.
Imagine what
And
sort
I
of
played
stuff
around
is
with my
far
phone
out
and
for
I've
Lindsay.
lost my
Yeah,
history, so
exactly.
I want to go back one, so I went, pushed it back, and it just all disappeared, and that was it. And then whenever I couldn't find it on here
I
again.
can't see where
and
these
these guys
rabbit
want
holes
me to
that
pay for all the
he's
information.
ended up with
So
all
I
this
paid,
crap.
and then found I couldn't print anything off. That could be just me now, I don't know. Okay, but check them out if you want some really good information. Okay, draw center image of our realm. Draw center vortex image. Well, basically done that and showed you there. But it's all in here. There's a big, slowly spiraling magnetic vortex in the center here. We all know that. If you watch my videos,
I thought that was a crocodile.
we'll get rid of that one.
That's a vortex. It's a vortex
As
and a
above, so
crocodile.
below with the parabolic.
Yeah, the
image
crocodile's
reduced
in the
into south.
vortex.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
This is what I was originally going to do the video about.
Oh, because it spins,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the vortex is
See,
a representation
Everything
of the
reduces up
crocodile,
north to the
Okay.
centre,
which is in the
and
Milky
we live
Way.
in this, and everything's a parabolic reflection from the north, from here out to here. Oh, that's what that. Oh, okay, that was. I'm getting it now. Okay, as above, so below. Oh no, no, carry on. So what's happening here is reflected out here. And although it goes around, it's wider. It's something to do with this arc, and us being in our own arc of horizon. And this is where the word relativity came into it. Einstein all them trying to put their heads together to try and explain how how this works. Flat Earth works when it expands all that south.
What? No, they didn't.
Everything's relative to wherever you are.
What?
And it's just movable. It's pretty deep, but it's just realising that nothing's physical in our realm. It's just the way it is. We'll skip that one for now. So what
Nothing's
I'm referring to
physical
is
in
like
our
when you
realm,
look
so
at
we're
the
not
map,
real
it's all
because
coming
we're not
your
physical.
longitudes. So it's all reducing here, right? But because we're in this arc from there to there, this parabolic reflection is out here, which would create this sort of, you know, reducing back down realm. And then, you know, you've got to try and understand something like this, all coming to their fixed points, but they overlap. It's hard to explain, but I actually started looking into that and then came across all this other stuff. I haven't quite got to that yet. So we'll leave that one out. As we've done that. Columns and equator. See? We don't just dwell in this one arc that flat earthers have gone on about. It's this shape here. It's flat up here in our realm. Flat across here. It might continue on up here, but that's not part of our realm. It's way beyond us. We're trapped down here in this arch here. And whatever's going on in here, in the centre here, is being reflected out here. And this is what it is. And see, the magnetic field
I
comes
thought he
down
said
on top like
projected.
this.
No, he's
It comes
saying
down the
reflected.
tropics. This is the column effect you get. So imagine columns
Oh, hold on a minute.
all the way around.
Is he
There's
saying
equator,
we're
magnetic
living
fields
in
go
an
like
arch,
this,
but above the arch it's flat?
and that one comes in like that.
Yeah.
Is that what he's saying?
Well, that's what he said.
No, I think he
Sorry,
means the
it's going like that.
bottom of
That's
the arch is flat.
I thought you said the top because he said up here's flat. You said. What?
They're going the wrong way anyway. So you've got to go west. It's all curving west. And you've got these ones coming in like that.
Which way's west, Lindsay?
The tropics.
In all directions by the
Got
looks
two
of it.
sky movements. We've got this one out here and this one in there. That's the main one.
Which way's
It's the one that
south,
comes out of
Lindsay?
creation. It's at night, and the parabolic image is out here.
No, that's all right. Every
So the
direction
star
is
here,
west.
the star
Well,
over
is
here.
what you're saying.
The star here, it'll be over there opposite. Parabolic image.
South that way.
Now all the way around here.
To the right,
Magnetic field's
yeah.
flowing in like
He's got
that.
it on
The
there.
tropics and going down through to the ground, across the ground. You're getting all this. You can imagine these columns all the way around. So you could get this dome, but the columns. All the columns, all those images come from. Okay, what do we got here? Get rid of that one.
So are the columns the vortexes? Is that what you're
Milky Way
saying?
and the
No,
Jewish
it's
columns.
only, no, it's only a central vortex.
Alchemy,
The,
the
the,
Jewish.
Oh, but
The
what about these other columns all the way around?
That's where the electricity flows, magnetic electricity flows through to the equator in different directions, but
Because
So-
basically he has his magnetic field do a figure of 8 somehow.
Oh, so these columns of are these columns of? Go ahead. Sorry, Alan.
His magnetic field line comes out the top of the vortex, over, down the bit in the middle where the equator is, then along the ground, and then out at the southern rim, back over, and back down through the middle bit, and then across the bottom and back up into the bottom of the vortex.
Oh, so these are columns of electromagnetism then, or something?
Yeah, but
Some
but of
kind.
course, you can't have a magnetic field that basically occupies the same space twice. Can you?
Yeah. God, I'm glad you understand this shit.
I don't. But I know you
The mere
can't have a
fact, the mere
magnetic.
fact that the mere fact that Alan can explain it is causing me to worry about.
Alan, we'll get worried about you now. We're getting worried.
yeah, we're getting worried, Alan.
Look, I've watched him do it enough times, and I've seen him draw the field lines, right?
to get.
But he doesn't understand that you can't draw field lines that basically parallel. You know, it comes down and goes this way and then goes up, and the same field line then comes back down through the same bit of space and goes the other way. No, Lindsay, that can't happen.
Yeah. You can't cross the streams.
I don't think
cross the streams.
I don't think anything in Lindsay says or explained can happen. Any of it.
No, I mean it's all. Most of and so much of what Lindsay says is actually completely undebunkable.
Well, yeah,
because
he
hasn't
doesn't
actually said anything to debunk.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Actually, yeah.
6-star flag. You've got Saturn looking like a ram, sort of basically gone over there. And the big one, main one the video was about, sun up and down in the dome.
Oh, he just rubbed out his nose.
How we get the sun up and down in the dome.
Well, he's covered those subjects. That's why he's done that.
Tropic zone.
Okay.
Okay, we're out here. The sun's in here. Down this way. For the December solstice, 23.5 degrees. And it spirals back up to
See, alligator, Lindsay.
3.4 degrees for the northern
The
solstice.
sun's in the alligator as well, in the
So-
vortex.
What?
You can imagine.
Poor alligator.
The sun
Wait a
moving
minute.
up like this.
So the sun is in the alligator vortex Milky Way spiral thing.
And let me guess, it shines out of the alligator's ass.
That's a crocodile, mate.
Or crocodile.
Sorry, the crocodile's ass.
Yeah.
In the dome.
There's a lot of things going on in this central spiral thing, isn't there? There's a crocodile, it's the Milky Way, it's a spiral, it's
Basically staying within here.
this and that and everything.
So it's going up,
Everything.
it's like this,
Yeah.
all the way up.
Black
But all
holes.
the
It's
magic
going like
happens.
this, moving in and out. So it's
Yeah, man.
basically going like that up the northern.
I'm with you, Dora.
solstice, isn't it? Well, it's because the sun is having to
We're
do
gonna
this
find my
vertical.
hammer.
You know, imagine moving up here in the season, coming up and down. That's why it's 4 minutes every day slower than the stars. In a lot of my videos, I've been mentioning that the sun was quicker. What are you doing, Mary? But this is what happens in the season, because the sun has to move that way as well as around the Earth. Because when it's moving around, it's going in and out for your seasons, all the way out for December solstice, back in within the tropic zone now.
Right, that's it. I'll get my other glove.
Northern
Right, hold on.
Solstice, back to the December solstice. That slight movement each day is a 4 minute delay, as opposed to the stars just swinging right around, moving basically naturally with no vertical movement. But at the end of the day, because it's being reduced in the north, the sun motion, but it's got more of a track on the southern field, it becomes even at the end of the year. So at the end of the year, it lines back up with the stars again, except it's slightly, it's a fraction ahead, and that's how you get your moving to the constellations. 1 degree every 72 years. So because you're at your star time, which is your that turns up first in 23.56 minutes. Another 4 minutes later, the sun turns up to make it 24 hours. So we keep a 24-hour clock because that works out overall pretty well. But over the day, over the season, the actual sun time is altered quite a bit. And that's where I'll read you stuff on the off the phone. Seasons of the year. Contrary to what people in the northern hemisphere might expect, the Earth's closest approach to the sun, called perihelion, which is down here, southern. This is equinox, right? It's down there. When it's pointing that way,
No,
magnetic
here we go.
field.
Yeah, here we go. Up the helium period. Yeah.
So frequency
Here we go.
base pointing that magnetic, it's gone all the way down to 23.5
Crash and
degrees.
burn.
And then it comes back up.
There he goes up the other way.
It's turning every day, obviously.
Left, make it left,
It
make it
lines
left.
down, lines up, right?
Repeat, please. Repeat, please.
Now, why does science call it
Repeat,
perihelion?
please.
And they say that the sun is closer to Earth down here, but it's not. It's stuck in the middle here. It doesn't. It's only shining its light down here. But they have to say that because of their crazy model. So that's the sun. Here's the Earth. Here's the equator. It's on that fixed tilt. It comes around all the way around like this. And you're in the southern field showing more.
I just knew it was getting to the interesting bit.
Suddenly stopped.
Yeah.
Classic Lindsay ending.
Oh, man. Mate, crackers, right? Jeez.
We'll just get into the good bit. Well, hopefully that's a part
I
two.
love the aeroplane bit's the best bit.
Upper Hilly and Perry.
He cut off 1 minute and 9 seconds early.
26 minutes and 4 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was 1 minute and 9 early.
that's enough. That's enough. We need to grow some more brain cells.
Well, actually, the next video will continue on with these little soccer ball and golf ball.
Yeah.
Fred said it's not fair to play him before the quiz. Well, that's just the way we order things around here.
Well, I mean, the whole point of the quiz now is to actually gain some more brain cells, by exercising your brain instead of destroying some brain cells. We'll listen to Lindsay.
Yeah.
So when you leave the stream, you'll be leaving with plus brain cells rather than negative.
Just let me get things organised here.
Wow, as Donkey says in
that's
Shrek,
done.
let's do that again.
No. All right.
Where's John? Oh, God, he's great.
You got a really, 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 really hard quiz this week, this night, Paul?
No, I've got just a reasonable one this time. I think, you should be able to get most of the answers. There are a couple of difficult ones in there, but I think for the most part, you should be able to actually
You know your version of
handle this one. And my version of easy is really hard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, come on.
But you should be starting to gauge now from the peanuts to us on the panel which ones we're leaning towards, which ones we have a go at, and which ones we sort of have to struggle with. Your clues are probably not too bad in that way, the way you do it, because that seems to be a good format. That you start off with.
Well, I don't think like put it this way, Terry. I don't think we've ever had gotten all the way through a question with nobody getting the answer. So they always come up with an answer, usually before I give the visual clue.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But if they can get the answer on the first clue, they're going well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's usually just lucky.
All right.
Feed me,
Feed me. Okay, you know the rules. Here we go.
Alan must type in the right box.
The hard quiz, 53. Yeah.
Don't go tagging me in the side chat.
No, that's right. Let's get into it. Okay, question 1. A song from this film was spoofed in an ad by Virginia congressional primary candidate Dan Helmer that went viral as the worst ad of the 2018 elections. What film was this?
American film.
Okay, another question, another clue. In the film Sleep With Me, Quentin Tarantino makes a cameo at a party discussing the homoerotic subtexts of this film. What film was it? Alan's typing something. I can hear him typing.
Yeah, we can tell Alan's typing.
That noisy keyboard.
Yeah.
It's not Brokeback Mountain, Alan. No, it's not American Pie. It's not Mercury. No. Okay, another clue. Christine Fox was the real-life inspiration for a character in this film who is serenaded in a bar with a rendition of You've Lost That Loving Feeling by the protagonist. That character is the astrophysicist Charlotte Blackwood. Come on, this has got to get easy now. That is correct, Alan. You've got it now. And the peanuts are right onto it too. I think the first one there was Irish Stew, followed by John Rapp with Top Gun. Was in fact the film, yeah. A planned 2020 sequel did cast Miles Teller as Bradley Bradshaw, the son of this film's character Goose, who dies in a forced ejection caused by an attempt to fly through Iceman's washout, and had earlier claimed to feel the need for speed. Named the 1986 movie starring Tom Cruise as the naval aviator Maverick at the title flight school. And of course it was Top Gun. See, that was an easy one.
Did you get it, Matt?
Yeah, but just slightly behind everybody else.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Question 2. Karl-Heinz Stockhausen's Stop and Start features 7 groups of different instruments, all paired with this instrument. What is this instrument?
Yep.
No, that's not right, John Stott. And that's not right either, Alan. It's not the piano. There you go. But Michael Reisman played this instrument in the recording of Philip Glass's Glassworks. Not a triangle, not a piano, not a drum, not a guitar. No, not the bagpipes. Not a trumpet. This instrument plays an accompaniment to live soprano performance in Milton Babbitt's Philomel. Not the saxophone. Not a harpsichord. Not a didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo.
This instrument was used to create an unusual 1968 recording of 10 Bach pieces that included the Third Brandenburg Concerto, transcribed entirely for this instrument. What is the instrument? It's not the glass harp. It's not the xylophone. It's not the theremin. It's not a whoopee cushion or an organ or a flute. No. One of these instruments, created at Columbia Princeton Music Center, was frequently used by composers such as Hallam Eldab and Wendy Carlos.
Yeah, I know what it is.
What
I
is the
can't spell it.
instrument?
Can't spell that bloody thing.
Oh, come on, it's easy.
Ah,
Yeah.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
Do you? What do you think it is, Terry? Type in the chat what
I've
it is.
I've given an answer, but you haven't mentioned it yet.
Ah, where are we, Matt? Let's see.
Oh shit!
What? An oi harp? An oi harp? A koi harp? No, no,
It's a harp.
no, it's
No?
not.
Okay.
We've got some correct answers out in the peanuts.
Ooh.
Name this instrument invented by Robert Moog that can convert electronic input into sounds. And you get a picture of it. And the correct answer given first by, I think it was Ozzie Snurg, was a synthesizer. In particular, the Moog synthesizer was the correct answer. The Moog. Yeah.
I put organ, electric.
Well, it wasn't really an electric organ. It was more versatile than that because they used wave, electronics and all sorts of things to manufacture sounds that
Copy
really didn't
sounds,
belong
yeah.
to any instrument. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was his own instrument, really. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, question 3. Now, there's 2 little purple circles on the side there that I had to use to censor the image for this. All right.
Oh, hello.
Warning. Just warning you.
Hurry up and get to that bit.
This entity was created by the white bird maiden Lindu, who was jilted by her fickle fiancé and turned to guiding birds with her father instead. What is this entity? Okay. A big game hunter from the north kidnapped the wife of a small game hunter of the south, but was exposed by his dog following him to make this entity. What is this entity? Joe Biden, the husband, enticing the audience. No. In a similar Cherokee story, a cornmeal stealing dog creates this thing.
Oh, somebody typed.
Not Tarzan, not hell.
Entity.
Not the elevator.
The music of the end, yeah.
On the 7th day of the 7th month of each year, a bridge of magpies grows over this place to let 2 lovers, a cowherd and a princess, meet. A pile of poo? No.
Fred.
Old Yeller. No. Come on. You'll get it in the next clue.
No idea.
Possibly the most famous myth about this structure states that it was created by Hera, pushing a suckling Hercules away from her breast, causing its total liquid to spill across the sky. Come on, internal chat. Come on. Not the Valkyrie, not the sunset, not the moon.
Still none the wiser.
Oh, you're on the right track, Blue, but no, not just milk. Name this heavenly feature, the galaxy containing the Earth. Come on, you've got to get it now.
We'll probably type the same thing now.
Yeah, I'm sure
There
we
you
will.
go,
Yeah,
into
they're all
him.
coming now.
The Milky Way was the correct answer, and I think who was it that got the correct answer out there quite early on? Irish Stew got it first in the peanuts.
The sweet you most definitely can eat between meals without ruining your appetite.
And I thought I would use a visual clue from that second last clue there to illustrate this one.
Oh, what?
The Milky Way. You see why I had to censor it.
Yeah.
Okay, question 4. George Eaton claimed that the high female-to-male ratio in the skeletons found here meant that it was the last refuge of the virginal chosen women, a hypothesis disproved by Richard Berger and Lucy Salazar. Where is this place? What is this place?
Oh. Crikey. Oh,
Okay, second clue. An object in this place is thought to be either a sundial or a map of the empire containing it.
Oh.
You're doing
You're on the
monkey
right track,
impressions. You're doing monkey
Andrea Huddle,
impressions
but
again,
be
Matt.
more specific. Yeah.
How do you spell that, Matt? Ooh, 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 ooh.
That is correct. That is correct, M2M. Well
Yay.
done. Yeah. Not
Good
King
on you,
Tut's
mate.
term.
Matt, can you DM me?
No.
Much a
Find out
cave in this place has a window that allows light for only a few days a year.
I'll let you have a swear word for free.
that first word, the second word in that sentence almost gives it away. Almost.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, that's a bit of a clue.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. A man found this place while searching for a white rock over a spring at Vilcabamba. Andrea Huddle, Pikachu. Not quite.
Close.
Close, but not quite.
Yeah.
And we have Fred Knotts first up with the correct answer out there.
Oh, now it's coming out. Yeah.
Machu Picchu was correct. Well done to Matt and Fred Knotts, yes. Artifacts from here were brought to Yale, but they were forced to be returned in 2010. This place featured the Room of the Three Windows, as well as the Temple of the Sun and a stone known as the Hitching Post of the Sun, the Intihuatana. This multi-terraced place was thought to have been constructed as an estate for the Emperor Pachacuti, and it was explored by Hiram Bingham.
Yeah, I saw a
And this
documentary.
mountainous- yeah.
Oh, sorry, God.
Incan Citadel. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I saw a documentary a few weeks ago about it. That's why I remembered.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an interesting
Quite
place.
an amazing place, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
You seen the image of it when they first came across it? Doesn't look anything like that.
Yeah, not now. It's been mostly
Hmm.
excavated, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, question 5. An equation that governs these phenomena is plotted on a graph of pressure ratio against deflection angle to give the namesake polar of these phenomena. Good luck with that clue. What phenomena are we talking about?
This question sounds familiar, actually.
Oh,
We've not had
does
it before.
No, we
really?
haven't had this one before.
Okay.
I can tell you that. Okay. One type of them is governed by the theta beta m equation, which relates the tangent of the corner angle to an expression involving the oblique angle and heat capacity ratio. Not the Coriolis force, not Lindsay compass, not rear entry angles,
Rear entry.
not drag. I'll ask Gary Wyvinga. Yeah. These phenomena are governed by a set of 3 equations that encode conservation of mass, momentum, and energy, called the Rankine-Huygens conditions. Not CBM plots, ICBM plots, not vacuum, no. Not particle collisions, no. A stationary example of these phenomena that detaches from the body from which it forms is called the bow variety. Now we're getting to clues that people might get the answer from. I think Alan might have it. That is correct, Alan. And followed very closely by Clive Wells in the Peanuts. Well done, you two. The answer is a shockwave, yes. Name this phenomenon that occur with discontinuous changes in a medium's properties, examples of which include the sonic boom of breaking the sound barrier.
Yeah, I would have got
It is,
that.
of course, yes, a shockwave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gas go down. Gas go
Go
boom.
boom boom.
Yeah, let's go boom boom.
Yeah.
You can
Okay,
really see
question
that shockwave there, can't you?
You can, yeah. Question 6. This material differentiates based on various farm processes, including assimilation and replenishment. What material are we talking about? Carl Edwards, Clive Wells stole it from my brain. Energy from aluminium-26 can drive the formation of this substance during the accretion phase. Not nitrogen, not nitrogen, no, not nitrogen, not cheese either, Andrea. Not fertilizer. No. This substance's composition is changed by assimilation of fusibles. No, okay. Increased concentration of elements called creep gives evidence that an ocean of this substance existed on the primordial moon. Not aluminium hydroxide? No. Not yogurt. A lake of yogurt on the moon. That would be good. Not aluminium silicate? No. Not water. Starts with M. Cumulate rocks are created by crystallization of this substance that, upon intrusion, can form sills, dikes, or other plutons.
Well,
Not magnesium.
Ignore my answer.
Not hydrogen of some type. No.
Yeah, ignore that.
And we have almost simultaneously a correct answer from Alan and a correct answer from Alan in the pick-ups as well.
It did end up in the wrong chat.
Oh dear.
That's because my live chat stalled for me, so I was trying to make it work, and then forgotten it and put bloody focus in the wrong window.
Alan's making sure he gets it right.
My
Well done.
apologies.
Well done, Alan, and well done, Alan. The answer is magma. Yes, this substance is usually classified as basaltic, andesitic, or rhyolitic based on its viscosity and mineral and gas content, and it can be found in namesake chambers. That would be magma chambers beneath the Earth's surface. There's an interesting way of taking a photo.
Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? Screw that for a game of soldiers. Screw that for a game of soldiers.
I think it's getting a
Freaking
bit
feet are
warm.
on fire. Yeah. Expensive. It looks like an expensive tripod as well. God, bloody hell.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't know it's on fire because he's too busy
Probably-
with the eyepiece.
Probably a carbon fibre one as well.
Okay, question 7. A man from this city followed the nymph Hesperia into the ocean and was changed into a diving bird. What city is it? I'm expecting this one to go reasonably quickly. Not Atlantis. Not Babylon. Not Oz. No. His sister from this city raised her younger brother as her son so that she would have an extra one if one was killed. Not a city starting with C, Carl Edwards, no. Not Nantucket, not Perth. No. This city, whose inhabitants included Aesicus and Ilion was home to a ruler who gave Heracles a golden veil to appease his anger after he saved Hesione from a sea monster. That father of Polydorus was originally named Podarches and was later killed by Neoptolemus after the theft of the palladium from this city. Come on, internal chat. Poseidon and Apollo were forced into manual labour here to serve Laomedon, whose son had 100 children.
I know what country it is, but I don't know I can't remember the name of the city.
It's not Athens.
Oh.
It's not Athens.
Oh.
You're in the right region, but it's not Athens. The dead body of a prince of this city was dragged around its walls 3 times. That's right, Alan. You finally got it. And I think the first person to get it out in the peanuts was Irish stew with Troy. Troy was the correct answer. Yeah. Yeah. That man was the breaker of horses, Hector. Name this city that was ruled by Priam and invaded by a wooden horse during a namesake war with Greece. It was, of course, Troy.
And that's Helen of Troy.
Yeah. Okay, question 8. The Tinkerpop language Gremlin can be used to work with graphs in these systems on Neptune, while Aurora provides access to other examples of them. What are these things? What are these systems? Does anyone know what the Tinkerpop language is? What is Gremlin? These systems are contrasted with larger, less structured ones known as lakes and warehouses. The Riley thesis system. No. Not magnesium phosphate. I think someone's a bit behind. Rules about these systems include the non-subversion rule, stating that a low-level language can't bypass a high-level language, and the guaranteed access rule. What are these systems? It's not the game of life. It's not Amazon. It's got something to do with that M2M, but in what? What is the system that happens in? Those rules are from COD's 12 rules of these systems. Atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability are the acid properties of all or nothing transactions in these systems. That is correct, Alan Evans. And well done to Clive Wells, who got it first out in the peanuts. These systems are in fact databases. I'm sure everyone would have got it in the next few clues anyway. Non-relational examples of these systems are named Dynamo and Mongo.
Yeah.
Commands like group by, join, select and insert can be used to manipulate these systems, whose tables are often queried using SQL.
SQL, yeah.
Yeah. Name these constructs that store information. They are databases. Well done. That was a harder question. Question 9. In one work about these things, the treachery of images is shown 10 times in a row, and a story is told about Carl, who drinks and drives.
Oh, Carl, bad boy.
What are these things?
Carl drinks and drives, does he?
Yeah. That work was inspired by another one of these things that often cites the spirit. What are these things? Master of obtuseness. No? Okay. That first work about these things highlights the Japanese use of aspect-to-aspect transitions and shows an implied murder to discuss closure in the section Blood in the Gutter. What are these things? It's a 2-word answer I need. Not Rings of Hell, not Hiccup's Fables. Someone just come out with Troy to freak. I think you're a bit behind. You need to catch up on your stream. Not Kiss albums, no. That book about these things creates a triangle diagram between reality, language, and the picture plane. Not Face Image, no. Frederick Wertham argued that these works promoted homosexuality and violence in his book Seduction of the Innocent. What are these things? Not surrealist art, not Harry Carey. Scott McLeod wrote a notable work in this medium about understanding these things. No. Artists in this cool medium include Art Spiegelman and Will Eisner. What are they? Not the Kama Sutra. Not perspective. Not threesomes. Not the art of war. No. Wow. Name these publications of visual sequential art that include Batman and Superman. Come on, that's got to give it away.
None the wiser.
Now, Big Blue, you're on the right track, but I wanted a 2-word answer. Can you translate that into a 2-word answer rather than that? Or a 1-word answer that Carl Edwards just gave. Well done. And Clive Wells and Iris Stew. Comic books was the correct answer. Or comics. Yeah. Okay, question 10. In the initiation ceremony for these people, a bottle with a coin and a cork with needles are placed in the middle of a tent made of white sheets while plates are beaten with utensils. Who are these people? Holy obscurity, Batman. Yeah. Like, what did Batman say to Robin before he got into the car? He said, "Get in the car, Robin." Not the Freemasons, not fraternities, not Jews, no, not the KKK, not virgins. Particularly high-ranking members of these people are called Supreme Servitor. Not virgin sacrifices, John Rapp, no. Again, not the KKK. Not the paid Masons either. Not Guano, not the Latter-day Saints. Not Scientology, no. In another ceremony, these people feed Ayazon before remaining within the Dievo. Not the Jesuits, not the Roman Catholics, not the Stonemasons, not the Butlers, not the Masonic Freemasons, not the Illuminati. No. That is correct, M2M. And that is also correct, Blue. I'll give you that answer.
No, Terry, before you ask.
You got it word correct, M2M. Well done. Tourists draw X marks on the alleged tomb of a hairdresser who was one of these people. That woman was Marie Laveau. Not the Mongolians, not US judges. You're on the right track, Irish Stew. Baths are given to initiate people to this role in the Kanzo ceremony. Male people of this type are called Hungans and females are called Mambos. Not zombies. You're on the right track too, John Rapp, except I need a little bit more detail. It's more specific. These people worship Papa Legba and the top hat wearing Baron Samedi, among other Loa. Aunt Greta. Not witches.
Close, though.
Yeah. And Dora comes out with the full answer there. Well done. The full answer was voodoo priests. Yeah, name these priests of a Haitian religion who don't actually stab dolls. And the correct answer was voodoo priests. Yeah. And that is your quiz for today. There you go.
Well, thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Saved
You're
on the
welcome.
last question, Dora said. Okay.
Yeah, it's good, mate.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable. Didn't get a question right, but well done.
Well, Fred said you got one at last.
I think I only got two, so I mean that's a failure by any standards at any academic place. 2 out of 10, 20%. Or 3 maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, they're better than me, mate. Crikey.
Yeah, they were tough.
Oh, not by any standard. That was a C in my chemistry class in college.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Most violent curve I've ever looked at.
Flash pie, Terry.
Yeah, I was hoping Alan would have his soundboard there. Was that the one you wanted, Alan?
Ta-dum, tish.
Yeah. Well, I haven't really found a lot of videos to play in the Shoot Your Shit column.
I mean, I'd suggest McToon's upload video, but it is 20 minutes long.
Oh,
Yeah, it is a bit of a long one. It's an interesting one though, but yeah, long.
Yeah. And,
Mate,
and he didn't, and the voice artist didn't get credit just in case the sue happy person might try suing him.
Mm.
90%, 99% of the people here have seen it. So,
Yeah, true.
I did a video. It was me.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah, crikey.
I think you've done 2 videos in the last few days.
Oh, look at
No, the last one before that was almost about a week ago, nearly.
Yeah.
I've got
No.
another one planned actually, but
I've already got one here called Level Earth Observer Debunked by a Thermos Flask.
yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah, well,
I've got Wally,
Excuse me.
SpaceX to launch 49 astronauts to space, and FE's going to hate it. And,
Yeah, that'd be a good one to play. Yeah.
And Space Denier can't accept Blue Origin spaceflight. So I'm just wondering if them two are going to overlap with Wally and Simon.
Well, it'll be a different perspective anyway. Even if it does, so yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'm just
well,
having a
check
quick.
out this
Just doing
M2M. Okay.
yeah, it's a little bit different aspect of it.
Oh, hell.
Carl's voting for M2M first.
Yeah.
You could probably cut some of mine out, the last bit really, because I let him run on for a bit longer than I probably should have done really. Because so you could probably shave off like 2 minutes of that of my video quite easily.
Yeah, I'll share it so you can see. It's up near the end there. You can see on the thumbnail. That's 12 minutes, so that's 10 minutes, 11 minutes.
Yeah,
You're
it's
talking
just
about-
him waffling really. Yeah, about 10 minutes. You could probably easily cut it off for 10 minutes, and you could also cut out my introduction as well. You don't need that.
No.
So you can fast forward it. I don't know, about a minute. No, I mean, not even a minute actually.
Well, I had the one on the screen.
Yeah.
I had it set.
Fast
Well, there's two.
forward a bit.
Fast forward a bit more than that.
Yeah. This just my introduction, just about another 10 seconds or so.
I'll pass this bit.
Yeah. Go past that bit. Yeah. Keep going. There you go.
Start there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Press play, Terry.
I've got to get the peanuts to see it first. Right, peanuts have got that. There we go. Oh, but unmuted.
Yeah, might help.
And you don't want it on. You want it on normal playback. Yep. What's it running at? 720. Yeah, that's right.
So here it is, Level Earth Observer once again, titled Flat Earth, Apollo 9, preparing for the pantomime. The only pantomime is you, Adam. But anyway, let's find out and see what he's got to say.
Apollo 9, the proving ground of the moon landing charade.
Yeah, so here it is straight away. James McDevitt, he was the commander for Apollo 9. For your information, Apollo 9 was the first test of the lunar module during the Apollo program, and it was tested above low Earth orbit to check out its instruments and avionics and make sure it's all working properly. So the practice was to move apart from the command module and then rendezvous again and redock. So that was the test. So anyway, let's see what Adam's got to say.
Essentially testing manoeuvres supposedly round the ball Earth.
Not supposedly, it was the globe Earth, Adam.
Two craft 100 miles apart come together and dock whilst they're supposedly doing silly speeds around globe Earth.
Not silly speeds, Adam. They're speeds that are necessary to keep in orbit. Somewhere in the region of 17,500, 18,000 miles per hour, somewhere around the region.
Preparing for the moon landing. So let's have a listen to the story and let's break it down for the absurdity that it is. We know the globe is scientifically impossible anyway.
No, Adam, it's not scientifically impossible because you've never proved it as such. So behave.
But let's just look at this globe evidence with a little bit of discernment and just break it down for the nonsense that it is.
So when we first got into orbit, we had a lot of stuff to do, and so we needed to make sure
Dear, oh dear.
that we had all the data we could get.
Again, nickname Spider. I'd call her Airfix.
Well, to be honest with you, what we're actually seeing on the screen is a model. That's not the actual lunar module.
I'd call
I'm
the old
not sure
girl
I'm correct
Airfix
there, to be honest.
myself.
The lunar module had to land on the moon. I mean, that's what it was designed for. And then it had to get back up to the command module so there was a ride home.
How does that sports car handle, Jim?
Again, I don't want to be rude or disrespectful, but I don't give up demonstrable reality in favour of stuff like we've got on our screen right now. I'm sorry.
You're not sorry at all, Adam. Why would you apologise? Because this is reality. It's just that you can't see it and you won't accept it.
That is clearly ridiculous.
You see, this is all you've got. Once again, Adam, all you got is look. It looks ridiculous. Oh, it looks fake. But all your claims of fake, you've never been able to prove that it actually is faked or how it was faked. That's the same with all flat earthers. When we ask for their claims of CGI and how it was done, there's never a response. Never been able to prove it.
Just listen to your mate there trying to make this interaction seem real when actually he's chatting to a fucking model. 2 secs.
How does that sports car handle, Jim? Pretty nice.
It's really very difficult to get the coordinate system in your head. Normally we docked looking out this way, and for the docking with the lunar module, you had to look this way. So the control system didn't operate the way it normally would.
It was the most complicated, messy system of springs and levers and latches and unbelievably complex.
Did you hear that? A system of levers and springs and unbelievably complex. Listen to that. Levers and springs. In the cold, dark void of pantomime space, the vacuum, where you get extreme temperatures of cold and heat.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is where his misunderstanding is going to come in.
And this extremely crude system works on levers and springs as in incredibly complicated.
He's referring to the docking system, Adam, nothing else.
Can you see how ridiculous this is already? On a tower crane on the back, you've got the
Of course he's going to refer back to his cranes, as all yours does, doesn't he?
electrics box, which in the winter months has to be heated up with a radiator, which is already in there, I may add. If it isn't, the electrics, the whole crane doesn't work.
So you're comparing what happens on Earth to what happens in space. Oh, ridiculous.
Because the temperature's too cold for the electrics, it won't work, and the crane shuts down. I've seen a £1 billion project come to an absolute grinding halt with 12 tower cranes just stood there, whilst men were going up tower cranes with hair dryers trying to warm up the back box because they did.
Going up tower cranes with hair dryers.
Didn't tinker with the settings from
dear.
summer to winter. My point is, imagine all this kit, this 1960s kit with springs and levers in the vacuum of space with the temperatures changing, getting extremely cold and then warm. I mean, come on, it doesn't take much to work out. This stuff's ridiculous.
You see, Adam, this is where your misunderstanding of how heat behaves in space comes in. It's a popular misconception that anything that ventures into space instantly freezes. But in reality, and I know how much you like that word, reality, or demonstrable reality, the vacuum of space is a near-perfect insulator because it lacks any kind of medium to remove heat. In fact, the vacuum of space heat is lost almost exclusively to electromagnetic radiation, or light, Adam. Especially, Adam. That just explains your silly theory, doesn't it? Let's see what else he's got to say.
Demonstrable reality tells us anyway, but even their own claims, their own footage, models, it clearly is ridiculous. And if you...
No, demonstrable reality is what I've just explained, Adam. Your reality is far from real.
just wanted a bit more footage to get you salivating over the daftness that is NASA and Apollo 9, we'll just have one last look at this pantomime that is Apollo 9.
The only pantomime is your knowledge, Adam.
Bear with me. This is some more footage of them practicing the docking procedure, supposedly around a ball Earth, preparation for the moon landing. So, if you wanted more proof, I mean, no offence, if you'd expect me to get in some kind of spacecraft hurtling around a ball at ridiculous speeds, you're going to have to improve the build quality if you want me to get...
He keeps going on about these ridiculous speeds, but he just doesn't seem to understand orbital mechanics. Those speeds are necessary to stay in orbit. Not that you'd understand what orbit is.
On board, that's for sure. Because let's have a look at this. Bearing in mind, no sound I should add, we know the globe's scientifically impossible anyway.
No, it's not scientifically impossible at all, Adam. And you've never been able to prove that it is.
But when they show us footage like this, I mean, dear oh dear.
Dear oh dear. See, this is all he's going to be doing. He's just going to point and say, look, it looks fake, it looks fake, it looks fake, look, it's fake. But you've never been able to prove how it's ever been faked or how it's CGI. None of you have.
Again, the build quality of probably Blue Peter. Airfix wouldn't go anywhere near that. Look at it.
Look at it. It's fine. It works. And it did work.
You want to believe nonsense like that?
No, I just believe demonstrable reality, Adam.
And drop demonstrable reality because of that? You carry on. But for people like myself, I'm going to stick with real science that can be demonstrated.
Real science. Adam, you would know real science if somebody jumped up, slapped you in the face with a wet kipper and called you a twat on the way down.
I'm certainly not going to give it up for models that Airfix wouldn't even put their name to. Dear oh dear. Look here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It worked, Adam.
A crude system of springs and levers, a build quality that Blue Peter would struggle to
You stop at any time now, Terry. The rest
to be
is
quite
just
honest
the same,
with you.
really.
And stories that are off the chart as far as fantasy and myth and pantomime legend are concerned. Living on a cannibal flying through a vacuum is a...
Yeah, he just waffles on and pretty much the same sort of stuff, you know, look at it, it looks fake and all that kind of stuff. It's just blah, 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 blah. It does look a bit strange for what it is, but the thing is they seem to equate a spacecraft as a rocket, you know. It has to be this aerodynamic, solid looking structure and all the rest of it, but they don't realise that it was meant to only operate in space and nowhere else and land on the moon, and it did its job.
Wasn't a whole lot of need for aerodynamics with a lunar module.
Yeah, exactly.
We had lots of dynamics, just no aero.
That's right. Yeah, just no aerodynamics. Yeah. One of the astronauts, Blue, you could probably know who it was. One of the astronauts, as a joke, hung a lemon in one of the simulators. I think of the lemon, didn't they? Or one of them. It's kind of like, yeah, because they thought it kind of looks like a lemon.
Actually, the lemon thing, I think, was Gus Grissom.
Was it Gus Grissom?
Complaining about Apollo 1. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Because of all the trouble they were having with that thing.
That's right, yeah. Did he hang that in the Apollo 1 command module? Because the LEM wasn't even anywhere near finished at that point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the it was the command module that he was taking issue with.
Yeah.
Well, nothing seemed to work right, and as it turned out, well, we know how it turned out.
Yeah.
Had a lot of wiring in that thing, and most of it had PVC insulation on it.
Yeah. Wolfie. I like Wolfie.
You mean Where's Wally?
Oh, sorry, Where's Wally? I always get the two freaking mixed up. Because he's always got that symbol that says Wolfpack on there. That's why as soon as I see that, I will say Wolfie, but it's not.
You're lucky Wally's not here, because he'll
I know, right? I know.
He would have came in here and said something to you.
Yeah, rightfully so. Yeah, I like Where's Wally. He's good. Oh, Wolfie's good as well.
Yeah, he hasn't got anything at the moment.
No, I don't think he's done anything for a while.
Well, g'day everybody, Where's Wally here. Look, I went looking at Adam's latest video today, and I really couldn't put you guys through it. I mean, talk about reruns on TV in the 80s. Man. So I thought I'd show you something that was infinitely more interesting than Adam's channel.
My grass
is actually growing, you know. You just got to watch long enough. So there will be no Leo debunk today, because he hasn't given us anything to debunk. He as much as admits that he's run out of material because he's just recycling old tosh.
I don't even know what to do.
So I will point you to something that I was not aware of, and it's about to happen, and it's going to crank up the FE excuse engine no end. So apparently it's now the turn of SpaceX to do their tourism launch, and frankly, it blows Branson and Bezos right out of the water. I mean, knocks them off the planet. You know what I mean. So SpaceX is truly everything that the other launches were not. Even before the launch, these guys are doing something that the Russians are never game to do. They looked at the rocket they're going to ride into space. Apparently it's tradition for the cosmonauts not to look at their rocket. It's bad luck or something. Anyway, that's fun. They're going to be in space proper for about 3 days before splashing down off the Florida coast. And they're also going to 590 kilometres. That's 50% higher than the ISS.
Yeah, it's higher.
So, wow, that is so much better than the other guys. Well done. Now, 3 days, that's almost 50 orbits of the Earth. So we will await those telescopers to see what they're going to be able to video this from up high. We know they love to do these tricky things, and I'm sure someone will do it. Well, guys, the cupola on Resilience is huge. It's a proper hemisphere. And yes, this image is a mock-up, but wait for the real thing. So the images from this are going to be absolutely amazing, and FE, well, they're not going to know what to do. they're not going to be able to refute them. Deny them, yes. Refute them, well, not so much. Well, when will this happen? Inspiration 4 has a 24-hour launch window that's opening around September the 15th. That's at midnight on September 16th GMT. So the mission will probably narrow this down to about a 5-hour window once they get all the various parameters and the weather. So Jared Isaacman, he is the Wolfie 6020 of this whole enterprise. He apparently is sponsoring the flight, and I can't wait for Adam and the other numpties to take this one on. They will deny, then they will lie, then they will cry over this launch. This is going to be so much fun, and as Scott Manley says, fly safe. Oh, don't show them that. That'll give them ideas.
If he said September 15th, September 16th, that's not... Yeah, okay, that's not our time. I have to have a look at that, Matt. That's your job.
What's that, Terry? Sorry?
You got to find out when that is our time for that one, because the date, like it's for us, it's the 15th going on to the 16th.
Yeah, I'm just looking that up now because I was originally it was supposed to be today, and then I've had some news that it was being changed to Thursday night. So I'm slightly confused. But according to one place I'm looking at now, it says 8:02 p.m. Eastern. So let's have a look. I'll just bring up my calculator here.
But it'll still be a launch window period, so...
Oh yeah. I mean that would apply to pretty much any launch really, because there is some concerns over the weather, so that could easily change. So if we say it was tonight at 8 p.m. say, so that would be for you. That would be 10 a.m. for you tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah. 10 a.m. But if it's Thursday, obviously that will.
I could have done a live one if I wasn't busy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Would have worked out.
Well, I've set your time zone as Sydney. Is that you in the same time zone there?
Yeah, Wollongong, Sydney, same thing.
Yeah.
Only an hour's difference up the coast.
So for us, that would be 1 a.m. for us, Alan.
Okay. Oh, when I wake up tomorrow morning, I'll have a look.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure whether they are actually launching today because it's on my launch calendar thing. It says the 16th, and then other sources say it's the 15th. So I don't know. I need to.
Yeah, I'd like to catch it live if we could, as long as it's telecast like they normally do.
Yeah. Yeah, well, SpaceX certainly will do. I'm just going to look up SpaceX now and see what. Yeah, well, SpaceX is saying tonight, so yeah, they're going live in 5 hours. So, yeah, it looks like it is tonight then. But yeah, for a while there, they said they were putting it back 24 hours because of weather, but obviously changed their mind. Maybe it's cleared up again.
I was going to say, what's the weather like, Blue? But Blue's not quite down that way. So I don't know what the weather's like up that way in comparison.
Yeah, well, apparently it's okay at the moment.
What's the weather like, Blue?
We call Brian Leakey. Then we call Brian Leakey and find out. He's not too far from there.
Imagine him trying to give us a weather report.
Can't get anything else. Can't get anything else. What makes you think he's going to get that right?
Brian couldn't predict yesterday's weather.
Yeah, so Inspiration 4, so they're going to be orbiting for 3 days, like I said, above the ISS, and it's about the same altitude as the Hubble. So yeah, it's pretty high altitude for civilians as well. And apparently that's the last time that anybody orbited at that altitude was when they were servicing the Hubble with the space shuttle. So it's been a while.
They should be able to look down and see the ISS, right? I mean, there's got to be a way they can get video of the ISS as they fly over the top of it, right?
Well, the ISS would actually
I'm
fly
just thinking of all
underneath
the silly shit that flat earthers will come up with.
Yeah.
It should be that the ISS will fly underneath them. It'll overtake them.
Yeah, because they're orbiting faster, technically, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, like, orbital mechanics is a bit weird if you think about it. It kind of puts things on its head because if you slow down, right, you're lowering your orbit, so therefore you're orbiting faster. So it's a bit weird, isn't it? Kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah. We have to speed up to get conserve the angular momentum, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got to speed it up to slow down or go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arsehole has taken it on himself to expose the Blue Origin spaceflight. Is he onto something, or is he grasping at the ever-decreasing amount of straws? Let's find out.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's incredible. To space. I did everything you thought it would be. Here, look. Oliver. Move your head just a little. Oh, that's great. Can you move your head a little while it flies?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Mom. I love it.
Oh, wow.
I don't understand why he's playing the light-hearted, almost silly music here. These people are weightless, regardless of whether they look silly or not.
Look at the blackness of space. Here, catch. Oh, yeah. Think them all. Ready? Woohoo! Here it comes. Yeah, you just have to wait for it. Who wants a Skittle?
Oh, yeah. Good one.
All right, see if you can catch this in your mouth. Yeah! Well done!
That genuinely looks like loads of fun. Very jealous.
Here, toss me one. Let me try. Here it goes. No, I'm sorry. Mid-fast. Here, try again.
I can't get it up.
I got you. Oh, wow.
No,
awesome.
He coming.
Oh, you're so good. Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Woo!
This is incredible.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure Jake will get to his point soon. Don't worry.
Man, this is different, isn't it?
A little different. I could not. Oh, wow. Guys, take a moment to look outside.
What up, y'all? Jake here, and I'm glad to be back on the Asshole channel, and the show continues.
Ah, there he is. About time, Jake.
Fresh off of billionaire Richard Branson's fake space flight.
No surprises there that Jake thinks the Virgin Galactic spaceflight was fake as well. I'm sure he has a lot of evidence to show this. Oh, wait.
Now we have fellow billionaire bag Jeff Bezos apparently blasting off into fake space today, along with a crew of flunkies such as his brother, some old bag, and some young kid.
Pleasant as always, Jake, I see.
Everything you saw take place in the video that they presented us with can easily be achieved by doing parabolic maneuvers in an airplane specially designed for such parabolic maneuvers.
Our survey said... Whilst that is strictly true, it certainly isn't for a normal parabolic flight. Because at your very, very best, you're only going to get about 30 seconds of weightlessness on the normal parabolic flights. The Blue Origin achieved up to 8 times longer than that at around 4 minutes of weightlessness. So no, not everything you see in that video there can be replicated with a normal parabolic flight. Of course, the Blue Origin was just a really, really big parabolic flight that allowed for a much greater time of weightlessness. What confuses me though, Jake, is that you are happy that parabolic flights are a thing and that they work. If that is the case, then why is it that you can't seem to grasp that they could do larger parabolic flights which go higher?
Now, once you do these parabolic maneuvers, anyone inside the aircraft...
Oh my days, the video is showing in the background is even saying 20 seconds of weightlessness.
...at the time is going to experience quote-unquote weightlessness, or what it would be like in a zero-gravity environment. What's really going on is a person is free-falling because the airplane is dipping its nose down and then tipping the nose back up and then dipping the nose down and tipping the nose back up. So for small intervals of time, a person can feel what it's like to be in this quote-unquote zero-gravity environment.
Yes, small intervals of time. 4 minutes is much, much longer than the usual 20 seconds you get from a normal parabolic flight.
When in actuality, the concept we know as gravity doesn't even exist.
On the contrary, Jake, you can only fall like that and feel the weightlessness because of gravity.
Alright, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this 4-person crew. First and foremost, we have leading the way billionaire bag Jeff Bezos. To the far right, you have his brother, Mark Bezos. I'm sure he's a bag as well.
I'm also sure he can give 2 hoots regarding what you think of him.
To the left, you have 82-year-old Wally Funk. Now, Wally Funk has appeared in other NASA videos and is tied back to the military for the last 60 years. At the age of 22, Wally Funk was the first ever female civilian flight instructor at a US military base.
Sounds like the perfect candidate to go on the Blue Origin spaceflight.
So, not exactly just some old lady that they handpicked off the streets.
And why would you do that?
After today, Wally now holds the record for being the oldest person to ever go to fake space. Congratulations, Wally.
That is some achievement, isn't it? Do I detect a hint of jealousy there from Jake?
Rounding out the Blue Origin crew is an 18-year-old kid known as Oliver Damon. Oliver just so happens to be the son of a wealthy millionaire CEO who happens to run a private equity firm. So now Oliver is the youngest person to ever go to fake space after today. Congratulations, Oliver.
Yes, whilst I may not agree with the selection on this one, again, a monumental achievement.
And there you have it, folks, your official crew of Blue Origin flunkies. Now you may be asking, what about the pilot? What about the actual crew members that got these flunkies into space? Oh, well, apparently the flight was totally automated and requires no crew members.
What do you mean apparently? It didn't. The spacecraft was fully autonomous.
So you can just stick Bezos' brother, some 82-year-old hag, and some 18-year-old kid into a tin can and shoot them up there automatically, and everything goes perfectly. This, of course, just the latest in the giant psychological operation to keep the notion that people are actually going to fake space alive.
Okay, so what do you do then when we reach the moon again? Will that be fake too? It's only a matter of time before your excuses and your reasons for doubting these missions will no longer cut it.
Gotta give it up. Hey, at the very least, they're still trying. They're still trying. I don't know how the hell people are still believing this shit, but God bless them, they're still trying. I mean, what else do they have to do?
Sorry, I thought this was supposed to be you exposing the Blue Origin spaceflight, Jake. Not telling us who went up in the craft, followed by a massive heap of personal incredulity.
Come clean? This has been just another opinion from Jake the Asshole. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see all of you lovely people in the next awesome Shadowban video. Peace.
Yeah, that was really poor. What this video represents is one of the most poorly constructed exposings I've ever seen. At no point in your rambling personal incredulity fueled response were you even close to anything that could be considered an exposing. Everyone who watched it is now extremely confident that you have nothing. So yes, there we go. A very, very poor attempt from Jake the Arsehole there at exposing the Blue Origin spaceflight. Shall we give him another chance? Okay, right. Jake, please can you have another go, and this time please could you supply some evidence as to why you think you are exposing the Blue Origin spaceflight. Thank you. And that's that. Another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday, all done and dusted. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it today, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And drop a like on the video as well. Thank you very much. Just enough time to once again thank Raycons for sponsoring today. Remember, visit buyraycon.com/Simandown.
Yeah, I've got no idea what he was trying to prove with that video. Proved that they went there.
Yeah, it's just the usual sort of like point at it and look fake and laugh at it and all the rest of it, but nothing else. I mean, that's been the same. That was the same with the Virgin Galactic flight, you know, and this flight and all the rest of it. It was just kind of, it looks fake, and that's it. Nothing else.
Well, that is their main argument, right?
Right.
Yeah, but like somebody we can quote from down in Gems and Brandon's burden of proof is on us, not the flat earther. When they say no, 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 it doesn't work. No, that's not a burden.
Even though they make the claim,
yeah,
right. Even though they make the claim, we always have the burden of proof for some reason.
Yeah.
I did learn something this morning, though. According to percentage, a scale actually weighs the weight of the air sitting on top of the scale.
All right.
I never knew that.
No, neither did I. Probably because it's not true.
Weighs the air?
Well, no, it does.
Yeah, I think I might have caught a bit of that one. I remember something.
It's just that for most purposes, we zero that out.
Okay.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the weight of the apparatus above the sensor, isn't it?
We tear it, so to speak. Yeah.
Oh, is that the tearing word that came out that I asked?
Yeah, tear. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now I know what it means. Right. Okay.
What he literally was saying to us is that a 2 foot by 2 foot sheet of plywood should weigh a lot more if you lay it flat than it does if you stand it up, right?
Okay.
What? And what was his rationale behind that one then?
Oh dear.
I couldn't get him to answer. He didn't seem to have an answer.
Oh dear.
The atmosphere does have a slight effect on the weight of things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's buoyancy.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've got to take into account the amount of air that's being displaced.
Yep, that's right.
But that's such a tiny, tiny number. Most of the time we ignore it.
Yeah.
I don't even think scales would even pick that up, would they? They'd have to be a very sensitive set of scales.
You'd have to be Yeah, it's got to be pretty sensitive to be able to discern the difference. I mean, air weighs 0.08 pounds per cubic foot.
You'd have to zero it out in a vacuum and then take it out into the atmosphere, or put atmosphere.
Fractions of them, not even a microgram, fractions of a microgram.
Yes, very, very tiny amounts. It's not enough to worry about most of the time.
Damn it, so I can't cheat when I weigh myself now then say, oh, that's not right because it's measuring the air. Damn it.
So I basically must have caught most of the conversation, except it was just going around in circles down there about all that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'd imagine if you're going for the world record and weighing things about 10 to the minus 21 kilograms, then you'd have to consider that, but not for ordinary things that we weigh.
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying my goodbyes out in the peanut gallery.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that'll be basically it for tonight.
What am I going to do for the rest of my day then?
I don't know.
Find something.
What can you do?
Not a lot.
Well, you said you were going to mount your LCD screen to the wall somehow.
Yeah, I need to get a wall mount first. I can't just stick it on the wall, Terry.
Oh, you're not clever enough to figure out how to make something.
No, I'm not. I'm not that. I haven't got an engineering mind. I haven't got the materials or the tools to do it.
Ah.
I've got a couple of saws and a set square. It's about as close as I'm going to get. That's probably all I need, actually.
What
I
is
don't
it?
have the
Is
wood,
it a
though.
solid wall behind you to screw a bracket onto?
Yeah, it's a supporting wall. Yeah.
Oh, you only need a couple of brackets and a piece of wood. Get Bev to help make it horizontal with level thing, whatever.
Oh god.
He can do the surveying part.
And chemo now claims that all horizons are just illusions.
Oh.
All right.
Which I found quite interesting, and in which case that means the black swan can never be talked about again.
No, we
You're
can't
not
talk
seeing
about
it.
that.
It's an illusion.
It's just an illusion.
Yeah.
It's just an illusion, so we can ignore that.
Yeah.
Forget about the black swan.
Okay, next topic then.
Yep.
Well, as we know, chemo contradicts himself
Chemo,
quite a lot.
Chemo didn't know. When I said that to Chemo, he didn't know whether to shit or go blind.
Yeah, didn't think before he spoke.
Conspiracy Cast was in there and just tore Chemo apart. I mean,
Oh, was he?
literally
Was he?
shredded.
Was that in Gem Pandas or somewhere else?
Yeah, I missed that one. That was before
Damn.
percentage.
Yeah,
Wasn't
that
that-
was
yeah,
probably
wasn't that-
before you got in there, Terry.
Yeah.
Oh, damn! I missed that.
I missed that myself.
Don't often see conspiracy cats in there.
Yeah, he's dropped in a few
He
times.
was giving Chemo. Yeah, he was giving Chemo simple questions that 14-year-old students can easily answer, and Chemo couldn't answer any of them. He gave him 3 of them. It was funny.
Oh, I could have went back on the live stream and actually snippeted that bit out, but if I'd have known beforehand. Oh. Oh, Alan's
I
still
don't know
able,
where he's
is he?
streaming now.
Yeah, but I'd have to rewind the stream to find that bit where chemo and
Yeah.
conspiracy.
You have to troll
Well,
through
he's
hours and
streaming on
hours
another
of stuff.
channel. Yeah, he's got another channel he's having to stream on right now.
Ah. I've only got the one.
There's got to be his stream got taken down for copyright or whatever.
Oh.
He's down
All
for
right.
a week.
Yeah, the week. Yeah, you only get a week now.
But I think he's streaming someplace else. I don't know what the name of the channel is, though.
Somebody else's channel, probably. I mean, who would do that, Terry? Hey.
No, I've got no idea, Matt. Rimfond will put penguins don't jump over in Discord in any other vids.
No, they seem to just fire themselves vertically upwards out of the water, don't they?
And like whale expeditions and penguin expeditions, because I know for a fact that if you come to New Zealand and go to Invercargill, there's a special.
Right, that's got cheapy in it. For some. Oh, I'll play that after. It's over in Discord, guys. Oh, thanks, Alan.
Right.
You there, Alan? Alan's there?
Yeah, I'm here. I won't
hey.
back up.
Oh, thanks, Frank Hornby. I like your trains.
Yeah,
I used to have them.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Big Blue.
Welcome.
All the regulars out there: John Raptor, Death, the new one, DeFreak, Brimfondle, No Name. Aren't you at work, No Name? John Rapp, Stewie. Got to scroll. Anaromorphic Mind, Zeblon. Oh, don't forget Carl. Who else we got? We've got to scroll up. Was Clive out there today?
Yeah, Clive was out there.
John Rapp. Oh, Andrea. Hello, wonderful person.
Have a look at what Surf just typed again, Terry.
Look, getting timed out.
There's no point. Not much point now, is there?
Yeah.
Really? That's why he did it.
No, I can still do it. Look. Here you go. Look. There you are. Bye, Surf. See you next time. See, I got you. All right, guys. I'll catch you on Saturday. Night panel, night peanuts.
All righty.
All right.
No.
Good night, everybody.